Konnichiwa minasan. Selamat datang diucapkan kepada anda yang mengikuti sesi ini secara langsung dan juga anda yang menonton setelah live stream ini berakhir ke sesi kolaborasi STOMACHOFCHAOS.com bersama laman pop culture suka ramai BUZZPOPTV. Seperti biasa saya Raja Kudo hari itu dari laman blog STOMACHOFCHAOS.com bersama para penulis dari BUZZPOPTV akan memberi reaksi dan ulasan untuk filem The Boy and the Heron, Kimi tachi wa dou ikiru ka, arahan pengarah anime tersohor Hayao Miyazaki. Filem ini dirilis pada 26 Disember tahun lepas dan masih lagi boleh ditonton di beberapa panggung sekitar Malaysia. Tadi aku cek kat TGV, dah tengok dekat Miri. Bukit Indah kat mana?
Indah Johor.
Bukit Indah tu, and then Geni Plaza and the 3 other TGV yang boleh tengok in the Klang Valley. So sorry lah orang Perak kena pergi Penang. Bersama saya malam ini panelis terdiri dari first of all Hadi Abdul Hamid. How are you, man?
Hi, what's up, bro? How you doing? What is up, my good people?
Yes.
Let's do this. Kita bedah ke The Boy and the Heron kepada semua orang yang mungkin ada berasakan heron dengan filem ni. Inilah dia.
Faham.
anak heron tu lah kau ni. Tadi dan juga Arif dan Kuyudin, long time no see my friend.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
Alright, so kita akan bedah sesi siapa yang rasa macam heron sangat tu. Semoga ada pencerahan dalam pembedahan inilah.
Heron. And then juga our friend Nazir Khan, dia baru sort out his cat.
Been a while. How do you guys doing? Konnichiwa sup.
Konnichiwa sup. Kau ni banyak tengok blogger-blogger sekarang kat Jepun, kat KL sekarang ada banyak blogger Jepun siut. Konnichiwa sup lah, itadaki makan lah.
Sorry masen.
Tapi yang macam itulah pasal. Kau tengok lah Lalaport lah, Seibu lah, we are becoming Japan. So kepada anda yang rasa katalah Jepun tu mahal sangat, pergi je lah KL. Pudujil jadi Lalaport, dia tak ada Gundam ya. So anyway, untuk makluman anda,
Thanks.
Untuk makluman anda yang belum pernah mengikuti sesi ulasan kami berbincangkan, kami akan mengandungi spoiler yang berkait dengan filem ini. Dan juga kepada anda yang menonton sesi ini setelah live stream ini berakhir, sila langgan kepada laman YouTube STOMACHOFCHAOS, Hadi Abdul Hamid dan BUZZPOPTV supaya anda tidak ketinggalan untuk menonton live stream kami yang akan datang. Dan jangan lupa untuk tenyeh butang like. Tapi just a quick introduction sebelum kita ke segmen kita yang biasa, which is reaksi satu ayat. Mari kita mengenali sutradara Hayao Miyazaki secara ringkas. Jika anda seorang peminat tegar anime, sudah tentu anda akan mengenali Hayao Miyazaki, salah seorang daripada 3 tidak seorang pengarah dan penulis animasi Jepun yang tersohor masa kini. Dilahirkan pada tahun 1941 di Tokyo, Miyazaki merupakan anak kedua dari 4 orang kepada Katsuji, seorang industrialis kapal terbang perang, dan Yoshiko, seorang suri rumah yang tegas. Satu sifat yang memberi impak kepada Miyazaki di mana ibunya telah memberi inspirasi kepada beberapa watak dalam penulisan beliau. Selepas menerima ijazah sarjana muda beliau di Gakushuin Daigaku di Tokyo, Miyazaki memulakan pekerjaan pertama beliau di Toei Animation pada tahun 1963 sebagai seorang in-betweener. Oleh kerana kebolehannya, Miyazaki berjaya menjadi ketua animator pada tahun 1968. Ianya di Toei lagi yang Miyazaki bekerja dengan Isao Takahata yang kemudiannya menjadi salah seorang rakan kerja beliau di studio Ghibli. Selepas meninggalkan Toei Animation, Miyazaki berganding bahu dengan Takahata mengarah siri suka ramai Lupin the Third di studio Tokyo Movie pada tahun 1971. Walaupun kerjaya beliau di dalam bidang animasi, Miyazaki juga giat dalam pengeluaran manga. Di sini, beliau bertemu dengan Toshio Suzuki, seorang editor manga yang nampak akan potensi penulisan dan lukisan Miyazaki. Sebahagian daripada manga nuklear Miyazaki yang bertajuk Nausicaa The Valley of the Wind, Kaze no Tani no Nausicaa dijadikan sebuah filem anime pada tahun 1984 oleh studio Topcraft, di mana filem ini diarah oleh Miyazaki sendiri dan Takahata dijadikan sebagai producer. Setelah kejayaan filem Nausicaa bersama dengan Isao Takahata, Toshio Suzuki dan Yasuyoshi Tokuma, Miyazaki menubuhkan Studio Ghibli pada tahun 1985, di mana filem pertama Miyazaki di Ghibli merupakan Laputa Castle in the Sky, Tenku Oshiro Laputa, dikeluarkan setahun kemudiannya. 1988 menampakkan arahan terbaru My Neighbor Totoro, Tonari no Totoro, yang dikeluarkan serentak dengan filem Isao Takahata yang bertajuk Grave of the Fireflies. Walaupun filem Totoro pada mulanya tidak mendapat sebutan sehangat filem Nausicaa, Miyazaki tetap dengan ethos Ghibli yang setiap filem hasilan mereka akan diberikan tumpuan sepenuhnya dengan bajet dan tempoh yang cukup supaya ianya bermutu tinggi. Ini terbukti dengan hasil arahan Miyazaki yang kemudiannya seperti Kure no Nobuta, Mononoke Hime dan sebuah filem bagi saya yang merupakan magnum opus beliau, Spirited Away Sento Chihiro no Kamikakushi. Filem yang kami akan ulas hari ini, The Boy and the Heron,君たちはどう生きるか, merupakan filem arahan Miyazaki yang pertama dalam 10 tahun selepas The Wind Rises. Filem ini dikatakan akan menjadi filem terakhir Miyazaki, walaupun beliau pernah menyatakan hasrat ini sejak filem Mononoke Hime lagi. Seorang eksekutif studio Ghibli yang menghadiri Toronto International Film Festival menyatakan yang Miyazaki sebenarnya masih bekerja di pejabatnya sehingga hari ini. So, kita sebagai peminat Hayao Miyazaki hanya boleh menunggu. Okey, so kita akan ke segmen seterusnya, reaksi satu ayat. Okey, reaksi satu ayat saya, seperti biasa setiap wayang Miyazaki, you just go for the ride. Kita nak banding dengan filem-filem dia yang lain, which is untuk saya the fairest thing to do. A bit susah jugalah, tapi macam saya terdetik juga nak kata yang dia mungkin tak, dia mungkin memang tak boleh challenge saya punya top Miyazaki film of all time, which I give a 10 out of 10, which is Spirited Away. For me that and Totoro was god tier lah. I mean, Totoro was more of a personal attachment to it, tapi dari segi penceritaan dan technicalities and all that, I think Spirited Away is his, as I said in dalam video tu, magnum opus dia. So Hadi, what's your reaksi satu ayat? Hadi, call mute. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, kalau sebelum ni aku pernah buat review dengan BUZZPOP dan aku dengan Arif, dan waktu tu aku baru perasan, sebab waktu tu aku shoot Arif dan Arif shoot aku lah kan. Aku baru perasan bila dah edit video, aku baru perasan kita orang punya reaksi satu ayat kita sama.
Oh ya ke?
Sebab masa aku rekod Arif, aku rekod Arif,
aku tak fikir kan?
Lupa dia punya reaksi satu ayat. Aku lupa dia punya reaksi satu ayat. Dan lepas tu bila Arif shoot aku Arif tanya aku, what is your first reaction? Oh, mesmerizing. Lepas tu bila aku tengok balik video,
kau bercakap mesmerizing tak?
Patutlah Arif buat muka. Aku macam tengok dia. Aku baru perasan. But the beautiful thing is that we think at the same thing. Kita fikir benda sama. Means that mesmerizing is the correct word lah. It's correct choice of word lah. Word for this film lah kan. Tapi aku try bagi reaksi lain sikit untuk this session. Bagi aku, for me, this is a cinematic experience for me because ini adalah filem Hayao Miyazaki yang pertama aku tonton di panggung wayang. Sebab The Wind Rises, Spirited Away semua tu, I don't think filem-filem tu keluar dekat Malaysia sebelum ni. Kalau filem studio Ghibli yang lain yang selain daripada Hayao Miyazaki, I think maybe ada, aku tak aware. But yang paling latest sebelum ni pun macam Airwick, pun tak keluar agak kat Malaysia rasanya. And then my neighbor yang madas semua tu pun I don't think keluar kat Malaysia. Dah lama kan. Then this is cinematic experience bagi aku yang aku memang siapa-siapa yang macam memang follow aku memang tahulah, memang bila keluar je pengumuman diorang kata nak buat filem berjudul How Do You Live pada awasannya, lepas tu ditukar The Boy and the Heron. It's all memang daripada awal aku dah kata please saya Malaysia, even kau 2 bulan lewat daripada Japan ke 3 bulan lewat daripada Japan ke, please, but this is macam once in a lifetime punya experience. Kita tak tahu, ada orang kata Hayao Miyazaki akan buat lagi filem lepas ni, but we never know that kan. As long as sekarang kita nak tengok yang ada sekarang ni, and personally aku tak disappointed. Of course it will never reach Spirited Away, it will never reach My Neighbor Totoro.
It depends on the person lah.
Depend on the person lah. But at least bagi aku, kalau kau compare dengan The Wind Rises, kau compare dengan the other melodramatic filem daripada Hayao Miyazaki yang tak touch on the spiritual part, tak touch pada benda-benda yang pelik. So untuk filem ni dia macam bagi kita homage juga pada Spirited Away, pada Princess Mononoke, pada House Moving Castle. Means that bila kita tengok, we know, kita dah tahu dah, yes, this is Hayao Miyazaki punya filem. So bila aku dah dapat benda tu, means that I cannot complain much about it. Kita tak boleh nak expect dia lebih bagus daripada Spirited Away ke benda ke, as long as, because this is his own thing, this is his own genre, tau. So dia punya tema tu pun lain dengan konsep dengan filem lain. So overall this is a really great cinematic experience to me, and I'm really glad watching it in the cinema untuk filem ni. Dan aku menantikan.
You brought your kids?
No, yang ni aku bawa kawan aku tengok dengan Arif juga. Arif bawa kawan dia juga.
Do you think you're gonna bring it? Do you think it's suitable for your daughters to watch or whatever? I mean,
not really. This film is not. Even though it's animation, tapi the theme is too heavy. Yang aku rasakan macam maybe budak-budak bawah 12 tahun atau 13 tahun is hard for them.
Probably a bit hard lah. Yeah, probably awal.
Kita pun susah. Kita sendiri pun susah sebab macam it's basically macam macam ada orang cakap lah aku kan, this one kalau kau tengok sambil start video, bro, that's dope.
kita akan ke situ.
Hi bro.
Dude.
That's why kena go with the flow. Okay, cool. Nazir, let's listen to what your reaksi satu ayat when you watch this.
Okay.
Dah mengeluh dah.
Aku as a guy who are not really, I'm not say I'm not a fan, tapi aku, this is my second Miyazaki movie yang aku tengok, Studio Ghibli yang aku tengok. The first one was the Grave of the Firefly sebab people hype about the sadness and the grievance apa semua. Yes, there is a sad and grievance, but there is not much of the grievance for me lah. This is my personal take. And also if I be honest, about The Boy and the Heron, this movie is kind of movie that you should watch in Netflix. Why? Because you can pause the movie, you can do something else, and you can continue to watch. And also, Syaz, kalau kau tengok ni, this movie is a snooze fest. It's really a snooze fest movie yang engkau akan tidur for the certain part. Which bagi aku macam, I also fell asleep a bit. I tried to stay awake, but I fell asleep. And this movie might be not a movie that give impression from my end. But let's see, Hadi, aku tanya kau as a guy that watching most of the Studio Ghibli, adakah this movie a suitable movie for the person that have a little knowledge of the Miyazaki punya work actually?
Yeah.
Tanya kau lah.
Yeah. That's why aku tak judge lebih-lebih bila kau kata kau tak berapa suka because you only watch 2 of the Hayao Miyazaki punya kerja
and of a extreme spectrum of
yes,
cerita
very
as
extreme spectrum. Even Grave of the Fireflies pun aku baru tengok tahun ni je, tahun lepas je aku baru tengok. Sebab it's not the fun type of movie to watch actually. That's why kalau aku nak suggest, kalau kau nak go into Hayao Miyazaki punya works, kerja dia, the first thing yang memang kau kena tengok is Spirited Away. That's all. Spirited Away.
and then
Away,
we will
kau tak tengok, if Spirited Away kau tak boleh, kau tak masuk juga, yang lain-lain kau tak payah tengok lah.
Okay. Habis ni aku terbuka dari risau.
Because aku rasa lah bagi aku dan maybe juga pada orang lain, Spirited Away macam Kudo kata is a magnum opus dari Hayao Miyazaki, and that is macam filem yang first untuk kau mengenali Hayao Miyazaki, supaya lepas tu baru kau boleh tengok filem yang selepas dan sebelum Hayao Miyazaki. So masa aku tengok Spirited Away pun, and then lepas tu baru aku layan House Moving Castle. Dapat agak feel dia. Tapi lepas tu bila tengok yang lama-lama, macam kau tengok Laputa, kau tengok Nausicaa kan, kau rasa macam susah nak masuk. Macam kena stop sikit, stop sekejap, lepas tu layan balik, baru boleh feel balik. Tapi lepas tu bila kau tengok pula Mononoke Hime, Princess Mononoke, then baru kau rasa macam shit, apa yang ada dalam Spirited Away ni sebenarnya dah ada dalam Princess Mononoke kan, dia macam homage kan. So that's why aku kata Spirited Away tu macam dia macam compilation of Miyazaki punya works untuk setiap filem dia lain. So kalau kau tak boleh nak masuk, aku tak kisah kau tak boleh nak masuk The Boy and the Heron, tapi kalau tak boleh nak masuk Spirited Away, so tak payah tengok Miyazaki punya yang lain.
betul.
So kira Spirited Away is a litmus test lah untuk those who want to start with the Miyazaki punya work.
And you can watch after this dekat Netflix. Boleh terus tengok je. Kat Netflix mana ada.
Anyway, so let's see Arif. Your reaksi setiap.
Reaksi satu ayat aku tak ubah lah sebab Adi dah ubah. So aku just ulang balik.
Mesmerizing.
Okay, it's mesmerizing and it's artistic treat for people yang, although macam like from my experience aku rasa dia out of his catalog lah, I would say I've only watched like 20% of his catalog. Varying times lah and varying but for me visually it's a treat, sonically it's a treat, which we will explain nanti in Bedah yang lain, and dia interesting sebab benda tu kau akan floating dulu bila kau tengok, and then a couple of seconds baru macam oh, this is why it happens. Benda tu, there's a reason why the silence and the timing is there, so that you can breathe in and settle down dengan apa yang kau lihat. Sebab again, Miyazaki film, it's not a fast-paced film, it's not a film yang macam show. Dia macam dia akan dia bukan cerita yang akan tell you what is happening. Dia show, and then you akan macam which is why out of 10 people tengok, 10 people akan dapat benda lain. How true it is up to your debate lah.
Exactly. That's interesting. Just before I give a final comment on the reaksi in general, they will have a quick look at chat. We've got Caleb wishing us a Happy New Year and Happy New Year to you too. And Caleb, bila pakcik nak pencen, entahlah. Dia kata nak pencen 4 kali dah. So
we're not complaining. We're not complaining kalau dia nak pencen pun.
So is The Boy and the Heron better than The Cat Returns? It depends though. The Cat Returns was like another fantastical story. It's a bit more whimsical, whereas The Boy and the Heron is a bit more serious. And we'll talk about the themes that that this particular story will cover lah. Category The Great again, commenting on Pakcik tak bencin dengan dia suka Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. This is quite an interesting thing though. Nausicaa Valley of the Wind masa dia orang mula-mula buat.
Dia buka
Flex.
So wayang dia the first 16 chapters on volume 1. Tapi manga ni habis tahun 1994. The actual film was
Aku 1 tahun time tu, sajalah bagi tahu.
So the fact is, banyak orang kata, oh dia dah buat sequel. It's not a sequel, he's been working on it. But that is one thing I find fascinating with Miyazaki, because as a creative person, dia suka hati dia nak buat apa dia buat. I mean, saya recommend kepada sesiapa yang nak mendalami psyche Miyazaki. There's something on NHK World called 10 Years with Hayao Miyazaki. It's on YouTube. In fact, you can go online to nhkworld.com. You can watch of it in HD. Each episode about 45-50 minutes. And then it's just one camera following him for 10 years. And you can see how his mind works, and it's such a fascinating. I mean, by the by lah. Dan juga Ilham HT, selamat tahun baru 2024. I mean, okay lah, just a final comment to my colleagues punya opinion on this film is that, untuk aku lah, wayang Miyazaki ni, you just have to go for the ride. Kau ikut
correct.
Kau ikut je.
Go with the journey.
Kita tak salah cara sesiapa yang nak menonton sesuatu IP, cara tak ada satu cara yang betul, tapi macam you find some of your friends yang jenis macam they need to know everything. They need to know why is this, or they need to know why is the world like this. There's not enough world building. So there's nothing wrong with that, but then again, you have to bear in mind that storytelling punya narrative differs from different creators. I mean, macam for example, if somebody yang dah tengok my little my little description for this live stream, aku itu divided to act 1, act 2, act 3. But naively going about, not everybody makes a story with 3 acts. You don't have to have a resolution to act 2 and in act 3, for example. Banyak for example, there's a classic film director called Ozu in Japan. Dia buat film seperti Tokyo Story in the 60s. I mean, Miyazaki sometimes follow that kind of thinking of storytelling, in which siapa tadi describe something, was it Arif yang cakap, or was it Hadi yang cakap, dia tak tunjuk tapi you don't have to see it. Arif ya.
Dia tak cakap, dia tunjuk.
Yeah. So because kalau kita baca, I mean, I read this somewhere, that's called an ellipsis. So in storytelling, kata dalam benda tu tak add to the narrative, the director may choose to not show it. In fact, sometimes kalau dia buat cerita kan, suddenly at the end of a wedding, kau fikir, wedding tu tak penting ke? Sedangkan why does it matter? We're talking about something else. This wedding, walaupun dia main character ke apa. So and it leaves people to allow people to expand their mind to kind of like, okay, interpret it as you will, but that makes for interesting storytelling lah. So anyway, but that's by the by lah. Tapi banyak lagi elemen dalam filem Miyazaki yang ada, and it's banyak will be touched in this film, and we shall go on to our next section, which is kita actually, as I told my panelist friends hari ni, kita macam free for all lah, kind of. I didn't create any questions macam nak kata adakah orang ini begini kerana begitu, because I don't, that just doesn't add to the, I don't know, discussion in my opinion.
Which is good, because I don't think you're able to do that, because
I think tapi I guess kita just to quickly recap cerita ni kepada sesiapa yang menonton dan juga. So basically, it's about a boy called Mahito during the Second World War, when the Americans bombed Japan. Walaupun paling teruk kita nampak Hiroshima dan Nagasaki atomic bomb, actually the most damage is actually caused by fire bombing. So it wasn't really implied that this was actually a American bomb, but the fact that the flames were reaching like all these particular parts of the city, and it was 1940 something. They didn't, I don't know whether they actually specified it was it was in the war effort anyway. You could see yang ayah Mahito Soichi tu, dia buat kapal terbang punya windshield kan. So it is during World War II, and his mother died in the fire because she was in hospital. And then they moved out of Tokyo to live in the boondocks, and then and from that point onwards, he started seeing this bird, which is a bangau or heron, that can speak and says that his mother was still alive, and then he followed the bird, not even reluctantly, but he just wants to find out what the hell is happening. And daripada tu cerita ni goes on and whatever lah. Tapi I'm not trying to macam rub your chin to go like, oh adakah ini korang rasa apa tema paling basic cerita ni? Who want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yep, go ahead.
I think the main theme is resolving trauma. Sebab daripada yang aku nampak is that kita tengok daripada first dia sampai ke kampung tu, budak ni budak yang sangat pendiam, very guarded, very numb lah. Dia macam apa-apa jadi macam okay, apa-apa jadi okay. Tidur-tidur fikir pasal mak dia, so dia okay. Dia even when you say like dia tak ada rasa takut pun nak follow the heron, dia just pergi je, dia ikut. Dia macam budak yang nak feel something. So right now dia feel curious, so aku nak pergi. Lepas tu tiba-tiba burung ni bercakap, which aku pelik juga. The rest of the house
in a way macam I've got nothing to lose. I lost my mother. Now we got bloody talking bird. Okay, fine. Show me where my mother is.
Lepas tu kau pula cakap pasal my mom is still alive. Macam this half of him rasa macam kau insult aku, half of him rasa macam maybe dia tak tipu. So dia curious at the same time dia angry. So which is any like how old is he dalam cerita ni? Tak silap macam early teens juga kan, atau middle teens, at least 15 lah probably. And then throughout the story you can see him finally being able to be more emotional and being able to macam apa ni, forgive himself lah in a sense. That which is kita tengok at the end of the story, dia macam dia a lot more expressive, lagi elok dengan orang sekeliling dia, and manage to form bonds lah. Kalau tak, even dengan orang-orang yang duduk dengan rumah dia pun macam diorang nak jadi baik dengan dia. Macam hai budak, hai ni macam okay, alright, terima kasih, alright, saya dah habis makan, okay, saya nak balik, okay. So by the end tu dia ada closure lah. So that's basically lah trauma healing in trauma lah.
The word of zaman-zaman sekarang, healing.
Yes. Healing.
Adi,
awak healing betul.
Are we healing today?
Heron healing. Basically betul lah apa yang macam Arif katakan, dia is something about post traumatic disorder juga, ada pasal isu PTSD juga, and then pasal depression, and it's about a boy punya depression. That's why dia punya isu yang dia sampai tu is so deep, and towards the movie baru aku realize macam okay, no wonder why the movie called How Do You Live in Japan. Sebab kalau ikutkan, this is a adaptation from a novel kan, novel tahun 1930-an untuk lagu, and this is one of macam Miyazaki punya style juga sebenarnya bila dia buat a lot of anime film dia. Some of the punya anime film is adaptation from novel, tapi yang menarik itu dia punya adaptation tu he make it his own tau. Dia tak buat sebiji macam novel punya adaptation, macam contoh macam House Moving Castle, also from a novel, and then even the novel got a sequel, but not necessarily dia kena adapt pun the sequel, because the film itself is already fit as a individual film. So untuk yang ini, bila sampai satu tahap, bila dia buka satu buku daripada pemberian mak dia about How Do You Live, okay, then baru aku rasa okay, this is about a film that a boy, budak ni, dia punya tahap traumatized, dia punya tahap depression sampai dia rasa macam dia dah tak hidup. Dia tak alive. Dia there's nothing to lose dalam hidup dia. Dia tak ada rasa apa-apa, tak ada rasa feeling apa-apa. Sampailah bila muncul misteri about the tower, muncul misteri about the heron apa semua tu, barulah dia rasa macam something yang macam okay, this is an escapism for him from his actual life. That's why kalau tengok dia punya behaviour is very suicidal behaviour tau. Throughout the beginning of the movie, bila dia kena belasah dia kena bully dengan budak remaja, how he cope with that? Dari batu dia ketuk kepala dia semata-mata sebab dia tak nak
pergi sekolah.
Tak nak pergi sekolah sebab dia tak nak bapa ada question lebih ke pasal kau belasah kau semua. I mean that
drastic, sangat drastic.
Dia sangat drastic. It's so dark, and memang kalau this is not an anime, kalau this is not a live action ke apa ke, it will be like macam psychological type of film tau, yang try to analysis teenagers punya behaviour. And kalau perasan dalam keseluruhan filem ni, dia punya traumatize dia tu is not just about his mother. Everything that happening in his life is not suitable for a teenager. Semuanya adalah challenges untuk seorang teenager. First, lepas mak dia mati, lepas tu bapak dia kahwin dengan makcik dia pula. Dah lah makcik dia pula muka macam mak dia. At first macam dulu dia katakan dia looks like macam mak dia kan. Mula-mula kita tengok macam okay, maybe there is something warm about that, but it's not, because the fact that his auntie looks exactly like his mother but not his mother make him feel much more burden with it.
Yes.
Bagi dia lagi rasa terbeban dengan stres. And then after that kena move out pula, kena move in dekat sebuah estate, jumpa kawan-kawan baru. That's too much to handle for a teenager. Sebab
dan
kalau
kena ingat juga it's still during war season. Dia still ada macam kena jadi budak yang bagus untuk negara. So it's like weh banyak sial. Banyak
muda. Betul.
Aku dulu handle PMR je. Kau nak handle
aku dulu struggle dengan kawan aku sama ada nak pilih nak jadi Power Rangers hijau atau Power Rangers merah je. Itu je aku punya struggle lah. Ini kau kena hadap dengan mak kau meninggal bukan meninggal biasa, memang meninggal sebab bakar pula tu. And then contohnya aku ada macam terbaca one of the psychologist cakap bila dia orang tengok filem Inside Out kan. Filem Inside Out dia punya tema dia why Riley jadi macam tu, very different behaviour, because dia kena pindah rumah. Benda tu on the adult part bagi kita rasa macam
biasalah,
rumah biasa je. Tapi ni dekat luar negara lah, aku tak tahu Malaysia macam mana. Pindah rumah, pindah kawasan, pindah sekolah is the most burdening for a kid, stressful thing for a kid. Sebab kau ada childhood friend kau kena tinggalkan childhood friend kau, lepas tu kau kena pergi buat kawan yang lain. That's why dia tunjuk bergaduh dengan budak-budak lain lah apa semua.
Tengoklah beginning of Spirited Away, Chihiro kan dia orang satu family kena pindah kan. Dia pegang bunga daripada kawan-kawan dia, bye-bye. Semua kena happy di tempat baru. I mean
so basically the team tu dah macam quite familiar dah dengan apa yang Miyazaki bawakan. But yes, cuma bila kita tengok kita punya first ride dekat dalam filem ni, kita tak akan nampak benda-benda tu sangat tau. Kita akan nampak lepas kita keluar wayang, lepas tu kita fikir balik. Sebab masa aku lepas keluar wayang pun I don't really get it at first.
Betul.
It's just because of macam the passing of torch from an old man to a younger guy, from a old generation to the new generation. That is also part of the theme. But apa yang korang fikir, apa yang kita fikir about this film during the film, apa yang kita fikir, maybe this is that. Tak semua tu salah tau. Tak semua tu salah. Every opinion matters tau dalam filem ni tau. Kalau kau nak kata filem ni adalah tentang old generation with new generation, this is about post-traumatic incident, this is about stress, this is about teenage behaviour ke apa ke. this is about bapak dia yang tak guna ke pergi kahwin dengan makcik dia yang dilawa ke apa. Semua tu betul. Semua tu betul.
Adik bini dia pula tu.
But that's the most important thing yang kita kena ada waktu kita tengok filem ni is just follow with the journey. Follow with the journey, that's itu juga apa yang aku rasa ada dalam filem-filem Miyazaki sebelum ni. It's the same thing. Kau imagine kau tengok dia punya start, macam mana daripada start tu and how we get from the end at the end. Macam bila kita pergi kat the end, kita dah terlupa pasal start dia. Starting dia. Macam kita tengok Spirited Away kan. Spirited Away awal-awal kita tengok Chihiro just dalam kereta dengan mak bapak dia apa semua. Suddenly dekat ending, spoiler alert lah. Dekat ending betul. Jadi lain. Kita macam tengok balik, oh shit. Kita dah terlupa lah dia punya starting dia tu sebenarnya is a very simple thing. Sama juga macam Princess Mononoke kan. Princess Mononoke watak dia macam dekat kampung macam gini-gini hero. Lepas tu suddenly tiba-tiba the evolution tu dalam tempoh 2 jam escalate really quickly. But kita tak perasan. It's escalate quickly tapi kita tak perasan. Sama macam bila tengok cerita ni, aku at one point aku rasa macam aku tengok agak jam. Tengok jam dah setengah jam, dah 1 jam. Bila plot nak mula ni? Bila dia nak masuk ni dalam dunia ni? Aku rasa gitu. But surprisingly, cerita ni dah bermula daripada awal lah. Cerita dah bermula daripada awal. That's how Miyazaki buat cerita dia. Yang aku pernah baca lah dekat majalah. Aku tak tahu sama ada betul ke tak. Cara dia buat filem, dia tak tulis ending. Dia tak buat dia punya third act. Dia tak buat third act. Waktu shoot filem, waktu macam dia lukis semua tu, sampai dia nak ke hujung tu baru dia buat dia punya ni. Because he is also part of the journey dalam filem tu. Dia nak tengok ke mana arah filem tu. That's why kita tak boleh nak kata macam ada sampai kadang orang kata kenapa tiba-tiba muncul watak ni? Kenapa tiba-tiba muncul watak ni? It's not tiba-tiba. It's just that macam the character is convenient for at that time of the plot. Macam King Bird ni kan. Daripada awal tak ada tunjuk King Bird tu. Ini tiba-tiba kan ada tunjuk. But the importance of the character tu. Bukannya kau tak ada letak hint kat depan, tiba-tiba keluar watak tu, suddenly tiba-tiba watak tu tak ada bagi apa impact pun. That's a waste of time lah kan. Tapi apa yang Miyazaki buat dalam ni, it's not a waste of time. Sorry to say Nazir, it's not a lazy writing. That's how it is. That's how it is, and it's basically that's the writing lah. That's the brilliant writing lah. It's not that something that they have to tell you. It's something that they want to show you. Kau tengok, kau fikirlah sendiri apa yang dia semua sampaikan.
Calling it lazy writing is unfair lah, because it's a different type of writing lah. Yang biasa yang kau yang we usually read, usually we experience, and consume. And for this one, if I being honest, for the team itself, I would say it's Mahito punya adaptability that evolved from the first until last. This is from the positive perspective yang I can get it in this movie lah. Before this, dia like a stone face punya muka sampai ending. You know, he learn to appreciate people around him. And kalau cakap pengajaran, satu je lah aku cakap, dengar cakap orang tua. Itu je. Listen to the old people. Jangan pergi sana, jangan pergi sana. Tapi bila pergi apa jadi, kau dah masuk ke alam lain.
Alam bunian.
Alam bunian. But across the journey, yes, the animation was cantik. Memang lawa. Memang, you know, Studio Ghibli punya quality is a whole different level. Kau pergi Ufotable ke, kau pergi Mapa ke, kau pergi Vic ke, tak boleh beat this kind of level. Sebab Miyazaki dia ada satu perangai dia. Aku ada tengok satu macam screen grab of the 10-year NHK tu. This one back to 2015-16. Dia pentingkan kehalusan, a fitness in his work actually. And dia punya perangai memang selagi kerja tu tak puas hati,
buat lagi.
Ulang. I will start again. So selagi dia tak dapat kepuasan tu, dia memang he won't simply draw his pen. Pernah there is one masa tu dia baru pagi-pagi tu, dia masuk studio, dia cakap hello dekat studio tu, and cameraman cakap, kenapa kau cakap hello sedangkan studio ni kosong? Oh, kita cakap pada penghuni. That's how much Miyazaki respect to the
spiritual world.
Spiritual world. So dia ada that kind of deep of respect yang dia boleh translate in the animation and the writing. But although there are some part yang bagi aku macam could be better in term of writing, tapi I don't want to say much sebab I know some people will be disagree. But you know, macam kau cakap Hadi, it's not a lazy writing but only a different type of writing. And aku perasan dalam movie ni, aku rasa maybe this is just my personal assumption, tapi dia punya dialog dalam ni sangat kurang. Dia like a show, dia doing more show than talk actually. Not tell lah, than talk. Ini yang aku perasan dalam The Boy and the Heron. Dia bagi visual cue yang do the work. Okay, you want to know what happened? You have to see for yourself. You cannot simply assumption while we talking. No, there is no dialogue in this moment. You just have to see what's going to happen.
Dia basically in a sense dia tak kasi kau pergi masak sambil tengok
Mata kau tu kena melekat.
Yes. And I think that's a good thing juga sebab macam Hadi cakap tadi kan, certain things dia macam rasa like macam aku punya initial reaction lah, cerita ni draggy, tetapi dia draggy yang dia nak kasi kau rehat in a sense. Oh, benda ni banyak and then dia nak kasi kau rehat. Even a shot tu can sometimes last for like 5 seconds. Kenapa? I think dia nak suruh kau reflect. Okay, it is a beautiful artwork. Appreciate the artwork lah. Tengok lah. Macam okay, rather than macam okay, kenapa shot ni nak kena macam ni? At the same time,
atau kenapa ada pelikan? Kenapa ada burung nuri? Kenapa tak ada burung halang? Kenapa tak ada gagak? Kenapa tak ada ayam?
Itu pun kita tak masuk lagi kenapa burung-burung ni yang kita pilih dalam filem ni, which is probably a symbolism in itself. Sebab Miyazaki kan level dia punya deep sampai I don't know where it goes.
Sometimes bila kita ingat deep pun dia tak deep sebenarnya. Dia kata
this feels like a Tool song. Anyway. So macam bila aku tengok ni pun another theme yang aku perasan is that I've read this somewhere. I think it was mentioned that this is actually a love letter to himself kot. Sebab benda ni banyak parallel to what happened to him in real life. Sebab you have to realise that most of the story yang dipakai, the protagonist is usually a young lady. Yes. But why is this the boy? And there, so macam you have to wonder, is this some self-insert thing that is going on? Which is like from what I've read and like snippets macam it is. And nampak tak dia buat as real as it can. Dia macam real life issue with spiritual undertone. Kalau kita tengok balik kalau kita tengok macam what I've watched is I think I watched Cat Whisper, or I forgot lah, something about the cat, and then kita tengok macam Kiki's Delivery, and then kita tengok Spirited Away. The world itself is very very magical. But this one is like most of the first hour is I think real world, and then baru kita pergi magical, which is not even an actual world. It's very abstract. Yang tak ada law, no magical law langsung. So
it's not even the subjective world, you know. It's a real world actually. Because dia selalu kata lagi the origin, ada asteroid musnahkan tempat dekat menara tu. Means that is a real dimension there. Even bapak dia pun boleh nampak pintu terbuka burung-burung keluar apa semua tu. So it's to him is very real.
Aku jual yang tengah anakku jadi burung. aku gelak gila.
Bapak dia memang crack gila tu, aku tak adalah. So it's very real. Sorry, sama dia.
Anakku jadi burung.
And then another thing another yang aku sangat happy with, not to say happy lah. Dia macam I like the small tidbits yang aku perasan is that when I watch this, the artwork is very Miyazaki, which is understandable lah. Very Ghibli, very Miyazaki. And the sound is very Ghibli, very Miyazaki. What I mean by sound is the dialogue, bunyi dia punya, I don't know, you call it tuning ke, system apa, is similar to if I listen to Kiki punya film, if I listen to Spirited Away, probably if I listen to Firefly, Graves of the Firefly, bunyi dia sama. And that is a signature for Ghibli. Not even just visual, how the sound, cara dia cakap, bunyi, how the vocal is more prominent than the background pun mainkan peranan. So like this is a treat for a Ghibli fan. And macam macam Adi cakap lah, this is my first actual Ghibli movie yang keluar dan tengok kat wayang in the cinema. So macam
korang tengok kat IMAX eh?
I don't think it was an IMAX kan. It's a normal.
Tapi
unfortunately for The Boy and the Heron kat Malaysia tak ada tayangan IMAX.
Bukan aku tengok TGV ada kat IMAX ke?
Tak ada.
Aku baru tengok tadi. Bukan eh?
Aku rasa sekarang tengah musim Aquaman. So Aquaman tengah busy.
Aquaman lah.
Oh yeah, because okay, faham. Okay. Anyway, fantastic points that you guys made. Hopefully I can remember because aku malas nak ambil kertas tulis pensil semua, so hopefully I can pick up bits that I can remember from all your fantastic points. Tapi macam just a slight correction I think on the book. I mean your Hadi is correct that memang dia ambil buku ni tahun 1937, nama author dia Yoshino Genzaburo is passed on already lah. Tapi cerita dia totally lain, tapi tema central theme dia similar. I think one of the themes that I guess I asked you guys that what the central theme to The Boy and the Heron is. I think it's one sentence is like, regardless apa yang terjadi, you move forward. Regardless of what you do, you move forward. Okay. Kita tak cover part ni lagi because I think I want to cover it later because I think we will mention about this. But the fact that, I mean, as Hadi and everybody else mentioned, the trauma of the loss of his mother and all that. At the same time, dia as a dutiful son, kau tak tengok dia bangkang ayah dia ke apa, dia ikut je lah. Yes, dad. Dia tetap hormat kepada mak tiri dia sebagai anak, you know. The way that he tak lawan
bukan cerita US.
Dia tak lawan.
I don't
some space. Some space. No.
I don't think dia actually in a sense kan, bila dia cakap macam tu kan, I feel like dia bukan agree as a son. Sebab I don't think dia acknowledge. Dia agree as a soldier. As a macam I am, sebab time tu kan very imperialistic, very propaganda. You have to obey as a soldier. Yes,
but
okay.
But I think also as a son in the sense of family yang jenis, because you know we're talking about the early 20th century family unit where yes father, you know, as opposed to yes dad, yes father. Tapi you know he has his own battles inside lah, macam dia nak macam kesedihan dia dan sebagainya, because you know dia tak ada pun pada singkit. Dia tetap kata thank you dekat orang gaji mak tiri dia, walaupun dia orang tu macam, you know, the way that Miyazaki drew the maids kan nampak very grotesque, macam nak menunjukkan bukanlah kasta, tapi obviously ayah Mahito, you know, he's an wartime industrialist making parts for fighter planes, he's rich. Let's take the Datsun to school, and yet orang gaji dia macam hidung besar, macam duduk mak kampung mana lah, tak dapat
Nenek kebayan punya level lah.
So macam, tapi yet dia sebagai anak, he knows his place. Aku makan kat sini, thank you very much for the meal. Dia buat je.
Dia tak sedap, tapi tak apa, aku makan je. Tak apa.
But that's how it is. But the fact that they actually still get food, where I think a lot of countryside people in that time were suffering. Macam Malaysia lah. Malaya masa Jepun kan, semua orang makan. There are people of privilege macam yang kami makan nasi macam biasa je because you are privileged. Orang kampung lain makan ubi, when the Japanese invaded Malaya. But that's by the by. So when going back to the book, Kimi Tachi wa do Kikuru ka tu, because masa 2016, 2017 dia punya cucu ke or the author, when they had the meeting, dia kata kita nak buat cerita ni macam ni. Tapi in the end when he watched the film, dia kata tak macam buku atuk aku pun, tapi macam he can see lah the similarities of the theme of whatever happens, you move forward, because the story in the book is more about a 15-year-old boy and his uncle, and how he's trying to find his place in the world. So this is like probably 1937, just about pre-war Japan, and the last passage in the book actually yang tanya, so korang pula, dia macam tanya kepada pembaca, korang macam mana korang hidup? Aku dah jumpa cara aku nak hidup untuk cari tempat aku kat dunia ni. So I think that was quite a good thing. There's another thing that I wanted to touch, but I think I now dah macam once dah gone on a semi-tangent. I hope to remember lah afterwards what to add later on. But we'll go on to the segment seterusnya. Okay. Dari segi, I mean, this is obviously, it's not fair lah to ask a bunch of Malaysian people, depending on how weak you are, of cultural things that you've noticed, or anything at all, dalam cerita ni yang mungkin kau buat, Miyazaki ni deep, atau just because it's cool and he put it in there. Tapi kau rasa ada tak benda-benda macam kita sebagai orang Asia yang ada commonality dari segi kita punya budaya atau kepercayaan yang kita boleh nampak kat filem ni? Wah, gila punya. Anyway, anybody wants to go?
Okay. Dia taklah, kalau sebenarnya ada, sebab satu is Asian things lah kan. Satu benda-benda Asia ni kan. Is the macam the politeness, the way they interact with people, and then basically macam satu lagi benda yang menarik yang kita boleh tengok dalam filem ni is that Japan is actually on the wrong side of war actually at that time.
Yes.
Tapi dia tunjuk dia tak touch sangat on the war part ke apa ke, dia tunjuk the environment,
the effect of the war,
the effect of the war, and then kampung-kampung situ, lepas budak-budak pergi belajar apa semua. Then it's very similar with tanah Melayu. Apa yang tanah Melayu experience during the war juga kan, before the war. It's something like that juga sebenarnya benda-benda itu. So basically the benda yang membezakan antara Jepun dengan tanah Melayu waktu tu is which side of war are we at the time.
You're at the time.
Tapi the people, rakyat semua yang tak nak terlibat dengan war, kita baik-baik je. Kita sama je. You just want to, kita just cuma nak teruskan kehidupan kita macam biasa. Tapi at the same time bila perang terjadi, so we can see that how dekat Jepun dengan dia punya semangat ketenteraan diorang kena loyal dengan negara diorang. So dia tak kisah dia on the wrong side ke, on the right side ke apa ke, as long as they loyal with their their country, sama juga dengan kita. Sama juga dengan tanah Melayu pun sama juga kena mempertahankan tanah Melayu semua. So it's interesting in a way, the common is not there, the similarity is not there, but actually is there juga. Ada juga gitu. So, itu kalau macam daripada sudut zaman peperangan tu lah. Kalau daripada segi macam the afterlife yang ditunjukkan ataupun the Netherlands dekat dalam dunia ocean world tu, pasal burung-burung, I don't really get that macam apa significance apa signifikan burung bayan, apa signifikan burung heron semua ni kan. Sebab untuk kita, kalau kita biasanya macam yang kita very similar is just macam burung gagak, burung belatok ke, burung the symbolism birds tu tak ada kaitan sangat lah dengan kita. But kalau selain daripada symbolism burung, is something yang macam kalau Nazir cakap tadi, kena dengar cakap orang tua, kena dengar kalau orang tua kata kau jangan pergi masuk tempat ni ke apa ke, jangan masuk. Bila kau dah masuk kau tengok kan dah tak ada pasal. Dia punya efek tu, macam contohnya bila Mahito pergi ke menara tu, efek ni bukan pada diri dia, efek dia pada mak tiri dia. Sebab mak tiri dia itu satu juga benda yang pantang juga kalau dalam orang Melayu kan kata kan, kau tengah mengandung, kau jangan kan, dalam kau adalah salah satu keluarga, ahli keluarga yang rapat. So bila kau pergi dekat tempat tu, lepas tu kau balik, bila kau balik kau mesti akan bawa sesuatu. Bila kau bawa sesuatu, yang kenanya bukan diri kau, yang kenanya adalah orang yang lemah dekat dalam rumah tu. Orang yang lemah tu adalah mak dia. So itulah dia, kalau lah kita ubah lah benda ni, konsep dia jadi macam orang Melayu, kita tengok dia tentang orang Melayu lah. Okay, dia masuk kampung Munian, dia balik, dia tak ada apa-apa, tapi rupanya dia terbawa something, saka ke benda tu, terkena ke mak dia, mak diri dia yang mengandung, mak dia yang kena sampuk pergi ke masuk kampung Munian tu. So tu bagi aku the similarity is there lah. That's also the reason why kenapa kita boleh relate dengan cerita-cerita daripada Miyazaki ni. Dia punya konsep dia tu tentang tentang dunia spiritual, tentang pasal orang tua. Even orang tua dalam ni pun dia tunjukkan very realistic. Sama juga macam orang tua kita dulu. Nampak je orang tua, tapi dalam dunia perang, benda apa yang diorang cari? Apa yang diorang nak bargain? Pokok. Pokok.
Takut lu.
Kretek nak kretek ya. So itu the bagi aku dia punya similarity tu on the culture part lah, kebudayaan dia lah, kebudayaan Asia tu yang ditekan dalam filem ni. Itu baru dalam filem ni. Kalau dalam filem-filem lain pun ada juga macam Away, semua tu kan. So dia of course dia akan lebih fokus on the Japanese punya culture lah. Cuma dia punya secara generalnya tu Japanese punya culture tu juga yang macam membuatkan kita boleh relate, sebab kita pun sama-sama Asia, kita pun boleh sama-sama boleh relate dengan dia punya politeness dia punya kebudayaan dia, tertib dia, keadaban dia semua tu. So itulah.
Anybody else want to add to what
I think untuk dari segi cultural, I think the heron itself, sebab kalau tak silap aku ada nampak like Japanese I think the royal family ada logo yang ada macam bentuk burung heron kot. But kalau tak silap heron ni dia macam ada significance where they do like a white heron's dance during one of the festival. So maybe in terms of prosperity, in terms of good luck, which is why probably waktu kita nampak yang the blue heron tu dia ada dekat kampung tu, but tak ada orang halau. Dia macam okay, biar je duduk situ, tak kisah. Dia duduk kat situ, maybe can bring luck apa semua, which is now we know is actually not the case lah. But and then I think yang sebab I think I saw one of the questions tanya what is the significance of heron dengan parrot. Heron maybe ada cultural significance. Parrot dengan parakeet tu dia macam, I don't know, I feel like the first yang aku nak that pop up in my head is those are invasive species. not native to Japan, and which is why dia jadi dalam cerita ni dia jadi antagonis. Kita kena tengok cerita ni as in the lens of a Japanese person tau. Diorang tak akan kata what they did was wrong. Diorang tak akan address, tapi diorang tak kata yes or no. Tapi kita akan nampak dia very pro lagi in terms of what they did. So without being direct lah. So I feel like Parakeet ni dia more macam nak significant. Sebab Parakeet ni more macam western punya influence lah konon. Tengok how dia pakai baju pun apa semua very western. So I don't know, maybe a slight jab on that.
I'm going to like bukanlah stop you, but you've hit the nail on the head because masa korang borak, aku duk buat film fact checking. Have a look at this. Okay. I mean,
dia dah keluar.
To think that this is a bloody coincidence is a bit unlikely. Let me just hide this first, yeah. Okay. Feral. Dia dah jadi feral. Let loose after an exotic pet craze have taken over the world's largest city. And this was written in 2014. It was 9 years ago.
Literally 10 years ago.
So whether or not Miyazaki tengah baca paper, okay, this will be our new enemy.
Dia kena ingat dia kena ingat Miyazaki is a very random person. I hate parrots.
Tapi I think this was quite funny lah. Bila aku macam, hey, I go to so aku basically parakeets because they are from the Himalayan foothills, Saharan Africa, so they are
but not Japan.
But not Japan. Okay, but tapi as much as tak adalah macam Miyazaki punya depiction of the parrot gang tu of a particular parrot type, tapi the fact that this has happened, I find it a bit terlalu can't be a blooming coincidence. I got a feeling, yeah, that they have a parrot problem.
Suatu bila dah habis film tu, I was like joking to my friend macam, and now they have a invasive species punya problem. Oh yeah,
they do, and they've had it for a few years. Okay, sorry, before I go on, just nak macam this time kali ni aku dah ambil some notes lah to answer in fact some of the questions. Deal with some of the stuff that we've discussed in the earlier segment. Nazir, have you got anything else to add with regard to whether you've noticed anything cultural with this story that's relevant?
Nothing really from my end sebab aku really try to enjoy the journey. Sampai aku tertidur dalam cinema. I'm sorry. I know I should not be sick, but
I think that's enjoying the aircon.
Understandable. I did.
And the kerusi empuk.
Yeah, I really like snooze myself like 10 minutes a bit. Tapi you know, I understand the story, but there are some like a quiet part yang aku memang
mata macam
tewas juga lah.
Macam melilau sekejap
Mata tu betul-betul memang melilau. Aku tak ada apa yang aku nak adding sebab this movie was pretty straightforward. Mahito deal with his grieving, with his macam mana dia nak apa sesuaikan diri dan tempat baru. And you know, from Stone Cold Face sampai pergi ke keluar daripada gua pun dia, you know, he try to be more alive than he current state lah. And you know, macam kau cakap, Arif, is a war era where everything was tough, where everything you must have to be man up. And for some reason, bila dengar korang borak ni, aku rasa macam I can see the relation between watak dalam Grave of the Firefly yang abang dia tu, lepas tu dengan Mahito sebab they are both try to act tough actually.
Man up more.
So they both try to man up. Tapi kalau dalam Grave of the Firefly, abang tu dia ada a stake which is adik dia yang nak jaga. So demi adik dia memang kena Kau kena apa, mematangkan diri. Kau kena, you have to be strong for the sake of your sister. So yang ni pula dia basically in the journey, dia tengah cari the meaning of living actually. Ini yang perasan lah, like the whole journey dia jumpa perempuan misteri ni, dia jumpa mak dia berusia muda, dia jumpa apa moyang dia. So the whole journey nak mengajar dia erti kehidupan, macam mengajar, okay, kalau kau pilih jalan ni kau dapat ni, kau pilih jalan ni kau dapat ni. So the journey yang dia nampak macam-macam tu, yang bila dia dah keluar tu, okay, I know how I should live my life. Although aku sebenarnya there are certain part towards act 2 and 3 yang aku rasa macam it's kind of useless, not useless, it's kind of like the significant.
Ada soal macam apa benda ni, kenapa ni
like macam okay, this thing go like this, tapi kenapa the result are the same? Aku cakap
the what not say?
Okay, for example, scene yang mak dia masuk dalam bilik
beranak
yang bilik beranak tu, bilik yang apa, patah larang.
Okay,
it's fine. Itu macam kira macam okay, yang mak dia cakap, mak berusia muda cakap dengan dia, kau kena masuk sebab aku tak boleh masuk. Okay, bila dah masuk bangkai apa semua, end up bila selamatkan mak dia tak beranak pun, sama je. So, what are the significant, what are the important of that scene? Aku faham anak dah selamatkan mak dia, tapi what?
Aku boleh jawab soalan ni, tapi aku nak either Hadi or Arif bagi pendapat lu.
I think dia macam more, the significance is that dia macam diorang dah buat a perjanjian. So kita boleh nampak kan daripada parakeet, dia nampak macam ada persetujuan antara the orang tua of the tower and the parakeet tu. This is the perjanjian. Ini benda ni yang dah jadi. So maybe the reaction is more on breaking the perjanjian of someone from your brother.
Sebab ada satu like kind of still contract yang the king, the parakeet king dengan orang tua ni, okay, simple je, aku jaga kau punya kingdom, aku jaga kingdom kau apa, tapi satu benda je, bilik tu jangan biar orang lain masuk. So apa, tiba-tiba bila mak dia tengah nak teran beranak, tiba-tiba MITOS masuk. So the deal has been broke. Itu yang the whole parakeet nak pergi makan, nak apa, buat kenduri 7 pagi tu, aku tengok macam wah, happy-nya korang siap apa buat segala kenduri pakaian. So macam I feel like it's kind of doesn't get anywhere, but I know MIYAZAKI punya style, dia akan letak something tu, lepas tu dia belah. Dia takkan bagi lebih.
Dia macam kalau aku nak jadi troll kan, macam okay, gaduh lah korang kat situ. sebab macam aku tu macam Makoto Shinkai, those who direct whether the video and your name, banyak inspired daripada MIYAZAKI punya storytelling. And you know apa, bila aku tengok MIYAZAKI, okay, this is where the Makoto dapat all the idea, all the good writing stuff from. So macam Makoto Shinkai punya style, dia akan bagi the closure. Okay, this is the closure, that's it, simple. Kalau MIYAZAKI, dia bagi tak ada closure, pandai-pandai korang lah. Itu yang buat macam kita semua macam debate dekat social media, dia macam ni, dia significant. Padahal kadang-kadang kalau kau tengok dalam interview dekat NHK, bila korang tanya, apa point kau buat anime ni? Tak ada apa, saja suka. Lepas tu dia kadang-kadang kalau kau tengok dia punya interview, the word list tu, anime is a mistake. People are fighting each other. Dia always give something negative, tapi bila kau buat anime, lawa gila babi. Aku macam, how this guy mind work actually? Pelik gila.
Dia sini dah Nazir. That's why sebenarnya aku faham MIYAZAKI is not really just this film. Basically mana-mana filem dia kau tengok pun kau akan ada feeling tu. Kau ada feeling macam kau dah
apa ni ya?
kau dah invested, kau dah rasa macam oh I am in this world already. Come on, bring me again, bring me more. Okay, finally we are at the closure. Suddenly habis. And bila habis tu, kau tahu tak? Dia habis, contohnya bila kita tengok Spirited Away, kita tengok Kiki's Delivery Service semua kan. Almost every film dia lah kan. Bila habis tu kita rasa macam fuck, aku punya roh masih ada dalam filem tu. Aku tak sempat nak bawa dia keluar lagi. Tapi kau dah strip aku, kau dah habis tu. It's the same thing dengan The Boy and the Heron. Bila biasa aku dengan Kudo gelak bila dah saya tanya ada post credit tak. It's not that kind of movie. Dia habis, dia tunjuk dia dengan mak dia dah ada adik apa semua. Habis. Tutup itu. Buka keluar wayang. Teruskan kehidupan kau.
Tadi sebelum kita orang start. Ya, sebelum kita start, aku tanya Arif kata tapi ni korang punya version ending credit korang Japanese ke in kanji?
Tak in English.
That's what because apa? Kau rasa okay, aku tahu cerita tu abrupt. Tadi aku discuss dengan Arif. Abrupt tu tak kisah. Is you create a bittersweet feeling plus he's found what he needed to do in his life, for example kan. Tapi aku rasa macam masa dia daripada pintu tutup ke skrin biru dengan kredit English tu, rasa macam intern mana pakai window movie maker, gila macam crack. Aku macam boy dia bukan tak ada closure ke apa kan. It's not a storytelling issue, but aku rasa macam technical issue. Aku macam bukan wayang ni kan rahsia kan. Macam kita orang nak tunjuk kat korang. Macam alamak, kita sekarang dah nak tunjuk kat UK dengan US dengan Malaysia semua. Hey you, could you write the credits in English please? Somebody like, okay, bobo. Aku tengok, aku tahulah dah abrupt tapi macam kalau aku buat edit dekat Final Cut kan, aku batang gila kalau jump cut tu ada macam 1 millisecond of the next scene, aku boleh nampak tau. So aku akan stretch, tarik, potong. Macam orang yang buat tu macam tak buat benda tu. Aku macam, oi,
kau baru tengok cerita di past 24 hours kan, not more than 24 hours ago kan. So you still have that feeling lah. You still have that feeling yang rasa
Bro tak balik lagi.
I know it doesn't matter, but I was like, what the hell was this? The most expensive animated film in Japan this year. Anyway, okay. Comment. Okay, too random to message. Okay. I'll just answer your question, Bani, before. Actually, I'm going to mengulas sedikit lagi a few points which I pointed out. Yes, it's aesthetically pleasing, but it's too random, too metaphorical. But this is the beauty of a Miyazaki film. Some people don't like it. I've got one of our panelist friends who like to use Fast and Furious as an example. Kalau kau minat Fast and Furious, kau takkan lah dia
punya setting bar tu Fast and Furious ke?
Tak salah. Sekatilah korang nak pakai bar apa pun. Tapi there are people who are wired like that. I'm wired.
Kalau tanya dia berapa rating anda untuk filem ni? Rating saya adalah Fast and Furious per 10.
Sorry Syaz, kau shoot tak sedar lah. Anyway, the point is this. Different people like to watch different things in a different way. Like, I grew up with this guy's films. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I'm not giving this film a 10 over 10 either, which I will say my ratings afterwards. But the point being, you go for the ride. You know, there's a lot of things that comes into play. Aku bukan macam aku bayar tiket, aku ni pasal lah aku nak suka cerita ni macam ni. Aku dah grow up dengan dia. Sekarang aku tahu Mamat ni dah 82 tahun. As much as people say, he's still working actually, and he's probably writing the next film. What if he gets ill next year? You know, it took him 7 years to make this bloody film. and surprised that he's still alive. He's a smoker. This guy still smokes. He's not vaping. I was like, full terror, Mama. Apa dia makan aku tak tahulah. You know, I mean, alhamdulillah lah dia panjang umur. Tapi macam, so things like that. So you go like, and then, you know, there's many other things. Which we'll discuss later on dalam bahagian harapan. As much as bahagian hujung is rating, aku ada bahagian harapan. I'm going to mention something about Ghibli in a bit. But you know, there are many things in the balance like that. It's like, so at the moment kan, macam aku rasa ramai orang macam people like me, I call myself an apologist. Bila I like something very much and I give you a side eye if you think it's crap, and you go like, but that's my opinion. It's like, you know, this is an entity that has created all these IPs that you've grown up to love, and you can see all the ramifications of things. This man is getting older. His co-founder is now dead. Isao Takahata, who did the fantastic The Princess Kaguya, though, you know, I mean, he's older than Miyazaki anyway. You know, things like that lah. So macam, and then the fact macam tadi siapa cakap? Hadi, was it you yang kata this is the first time aku tengok wayang Miyazaki yang buat sekarang dalam panggung, bukan aku tengok DVD ke Netflix ke. You know, some people, I mean, people like ourselves will be like, we want to grab all this experience now. Macam I admit I didn't watch Totoro. I'm older than these guys, but I didn't watch Totoro in the cinema. But I've watched Spirited Away in the cinema.
What?
So for example kan. So it's like, you know, that's my take lah. I mean, not taking it for anyone. If people think it's not as good, that's fine. But I you know, it's a given that
Actually at one point aku jadi macam someone yang macam, kau tahu tak, orang yang macam tengok Game of Thrones kan, orang yang obsessed with something but actually is too macam overrated lah semua. Sampai aku rasa, what? Kau tak tengok Spirited Away? What? Kau tak tengok Raven? Kau tak tengok My Neighborhood?
Aku tak tengok What If second season. Anyway, yeah. You know, but do I care? I don't. Anyway, I mean, yes, Bani, you made a good point as well to compare other stuff. We're gonna mention it in passing, and sometimes it's a bit difficult to compare everything because I don't know whether my colleague dah tengok Pompoko. Pompoko ni dia bukan directed by Miyazaki.
Pompoko aku tak tengok lagi.
Pompoko is actually brilliant. Pompoko is a mixture of Japanese punya yokai.
Pompoko is not from Miyazaki, right?
I know, Ghibli. Dia
basically Miyazaki.
Biasa tema pasal pembangunan dan effect dia atas apa environment, and this is the common theme. Berbalik kepada tema yang in general lah, Pak Yami, he talks about the environment a lot. His story is geared. We were talking about did you bring your daughter and you feel that it wasn't suitable due to certain things kan. Tapi macam Miyazaki did say that this film is for kids, but he didn't want it to be a fuzzy kids film like Totoro, cuddly, tak. You know, it's probably something like, I don't know how orang Jepun membesarkan anak dia orang, tapi macam I do know for a fact before zaman woke semua ni, benda-benda macam violence is nothing for these kids. I mean, senang kau tengok macam go to Demon Slayer, we got death, blood, beheading, loss of limbs. Budak-budak 4-5 tahun dekat supermarket tengok this girl main piano. Dia masa dia, please. And you go like, mak bapak kau bagi tengok cerita ni. You know,
that's why dia kata budak-budak kena tengok. That's why kena faham konteks Miyazaki kenapa dia cakap kids, ini adalah filem untuk kids. Sebab dia nak bagi tu dekat kids. This is the equivalent of the meme kan. Back in my day. So this is the film. Dia film macam dia nak bagi tahu, back in my day, budak-budak tak woke budak-budak lelaki ni kau kena simpan perasaan kau. Budak-budak perempuan kalau dalam Spirited Away, dalam Kiki Delivery Service apa ke, kau kena macam be annoyed with something. Tapi budak lelaki kalau dalam macam Mahito ni, everything kau kena repress. Tak boleh tunjuk. Ni sekarang sikit-sikit healing. Sikit-sikit malam pagi.
Malam pagi.
Healing sampai pagi tak balik.
So sebab dia kata this is macam dia tak nak cakap, dia tak nak terlalu jadi boomer sangat, dia tak nak macam kata in my day aku macam ni tak. Dia terus buat anime, dia cakap okay budak-budak kau tengok.
Exactly. So lagi tu, tadi aku punya soalan was whether or not jika anda rasa ada persamaan dalam penceritaan ni dengan budaya kita. And tadi nicely enough Hadi mentioned it, but I was expecting him to talk a bit more, but he didn't. Saka. Now.
Sorry?
Saka. S-A-K-A, bukan S-U-C-K-E-R. Saka. Mak Mahito ni ada saka. Saka api. Dia saka api. That's why she's, that's why when we finally meet her, then actually kan dia dah cakap tau, oh yeah, my younger sister is marrying your dad. Tapi macam aku seorang je kedengar benda ni, because it was much later yang macam Mahito baru yes mom, oh by the way don't go back, you'll be dead, you'll be burned in the fire. Dia jawab dia, alah, tak takut babi, relax lah. Nice meeting you. Bye. Masuk pintu lain. Babi.
Aku ada kau sapi. Apa?
Tak. So some people argue, some people. Actually, bab ni, macam, okay, aku bukan cakap masa aku tengok wayang ni semalam, all my answer sekarang ni is actually, aku dah dapat sekali karung. Tak. Aku pun banyak persoalan juga. In fact, bab tu aku approach cara lain. So malam tadi aku macam tanya je borak dengan my sister-in-law, dia cakap dia cakap what do you understand about that particular scene dalam birth scene tu kan, and this is my answer to Nazir's question. Yang dia kata grand uncle dia nak pengganti. I have one more day left. So the person that she's supposed to deliver is to be penyambung saka tu. But now the grand uncle dia say, oh, I got another pengganti here as well, Mahito. That's why he got that dream. Yang masa dia bangun tu, yang dia kena ikat, yang burung tu tengah bukan macam sial. Burung kau nak makan orang.
Burung kenduri.
Betul. So, okay. So mula-mula masa aku tengok bab tu, aku pahamanku lain sikit, because Natsuko, the mak saudara / mak tiri, shouted at Mahito, right? I hate you, I can't stand you, you shouldn't be here, blah kan. So mula-mula aku ingat pasal sebelum ni mak dia baik, mak tiri dia baik, but there's something in Japanese culture, kepada anda yang mungkin pernah belajar kat Jepun ke apa, atau whip enough to take notice, the concept of hone dengan tatemae. Hone dengan tatemae ni is when demi menjaga keamanan sejagat, kita bubuh emas.
Dia
to the point of macam talam dua muka, tapi macam kalau aku benci kau pun, tapi macam kau ajak aku nak makan ke apa, aku cakap oh thank you very much, baiklah kau, tapi aku nak pergi, aku ada meeting dalam hati aku. So in a way, as opposed to confronting the person and go fuck you ke apa kan, it created disharmony, because Jepun kan are very cohesive as a society. They're what we call a collectivist society. Dia orang tak macam barat individualistic. Suka hati aku lah, aku nak pakai seluar dalam kat luar ke apa kan. Jepun tak. Jepun sampai kau tengok dia orang, kalau siapa biasa tengok drama Jepun, yang kalau kau nak minta kerja, semua orang pakai suit hitam, baju putih, tie hitam, perempuan pakai kasut loafer hitam, rambut tak boleh kala-kala kena ikat, semua muka sama. So that's how collectivist the Japanese are. So I thought that was an example of hone and tatemae. But one interesting point that in my discussion yesterday was that she wants to stop all this business of having a successor for this grand uncle. because it brings them nothing but pain. Because dunia diorang ni, kalau kau rasa macam banyak pintu tu kan, what's the thing in Star Wars? The world within worlds so waktu kau macam
The world between worlds.
Itu Miyazaki ni dah main multiverse lah pula. But
Ada pintu tu.
because dia kata ini pintu kau 132 tu yang nampak bapak tu dia tutup.
Dia takut buka satu lagi terpergi dekat dunia anak dia pula.
Anak aku jadi burung. Tapi when apa nama mak dia? Bukan Miri, apa tu? Shit, what's her name?
Himi.
Yeah, when Himi wanted to jump out because she's the murderer, yang dia kata, "Alah, tak apalah, aku nice knowing you. Aku tak takut pun mati nanti." So, one reason is that perhaps that's why she is not dead. That's why the Heron cakap kat dia, mak kau tak mati sebenarnya. Tapi dia and back
One
to
with the fire.
And back to how Miyazaki tells the story in a way of ellipses, in which it doesn't help the narration anyway, because the story is to see how Mahito becomes a better person and get on with his life. So whether
and also
mak dia dah meninggal anyway. So what is he going to gain by
and also I think kan waktu yang when we saw sama dia buat paradox or not tu, is that mak dia dah tahu, and she chose that because dia sayang dekat budak yang tengah nak selamatkan adik dia. Faham tak? As a budak perempuan ni macam, oh budak ni rupanya akan jadi anak aku. And dalam hati macam, if this is my son, I am happy to die for him.
Yeah.
So let's continue this. This, and macam, which is even better. So dia tahu bila dia nak mati. Orang yang dah tahu bila dia nak mati ni, dia dah boleh prepare. And dia mati pula by fire.
Orang yang reda lah tu, api lah tu.
So macam what better way than dying by my tu. And some people could say juga, adakah dia mati? Macam cakap dia mati, or dia become one with the fire. Sebab kita tak tahu ada nampak rangka ke. Sebab it's a very big fire in a very big place. Mungkin dia just,
and then the Heron pun macam planting word like, you didn't see the body, did you? Exactly.
So itu yang buat apa Mahito macam terbakar, macam okay fine, aku ikut kau.
I mean that with the added grief that he's lost his mother. And just one more thing to add to answer to your question, like the parrots, back to the picture of the bloody parrots taking over Tokyo. It's as if, ini pahaman aku lah, like a bunch of pendatang in a place when there's enough of you think you have a voice. I'm not naming anything relevant to us perhaps, and I'm talking about a new one, not our tiga bangsa, the immigrant problem we have of late in the late 20th and 21st century. When you have enough, you have seen it, people yang macam bangsa R yang kami nak tanah. Aku tengok kat berita macam, siapa lu, man? Orang baru selamatkan kau daripada ketembak dengan korang punya askar. But okay, that's by the by. But that's what happened. I mean when the king went to go to see the grand uncle, all the askar burung, you can do it, yeah, for us. Macam sial, so dia macam the reason he thinks he's gonna get a good deal from all this, but he's not. That's why he got pissed off and he started what he did, like which was pakai pedang dia kacau that balancing thing tu kan. Benda-benda macam tu semua tu metaphor pun. It's like, I'm not going to go sit down tell you what it means ke apa, I do not know. I really do not know.
Bro, aku rasa tadi kau macam nak address juga pasal yang Nazhir punya question about the mother dekat dalam labor room tu kan?
Oh sorry, yes. Because dia tak nak, dah cakap lah, dia tak nak sambungan dia punya bloodline untuk jaga tempat uncle dia tu. Biar mampus lah tempat dia, whatever it is. But because of the fact that I do not know why. So the reason why she was angry at Mahito wasn't because dia benci Mahito, but because he shouldn't be there. Dia takut something happen to him. I think that's what it was.
So dia just cakap, oh, I hate you, blah blah, just for him to blah.
To get out.
It's standard. It's standard Sundari punya behaviour lah. Macam, I hate you, just go here. Dah mati macam, cepat lari, aku nak kau selamat. Tak apalah kau benci aku pun, tak apa, pergi je.
Sedangkan mak tiri dia pun sayang dia. And at the same time, Mahito belajar, you know, okay, since you can already
belajar pasal acceptance.
Exactly. Acceptance mak dia dah tak ada. Acceptance ayah dia kahwin lain. Siapa tahu cakap Melayu, apa nama benda bila kau punya bini meninggal, kau kahwin adik atau akak dia?
Ada
apa benda gelaran?
Ada. Berganti tika. So here's something you learn today. Berganti
itu
tika.
Untuk yang kahwin dengan adik ke ataupun kahwin dengan orang lain?
I think no. It has to be the sibling. So macam like basically your dad marries your auntie lah. Your dad marries your auntie. The reason it's called berganti tika.
Kalau lelaki apa? Kalau dengan kahwin dengan adik lelaki je apa? Berganti tika mengkuang.
Tak, berganti kau dah kata berganti permaidani Arif in English.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Berganti kapet lah, come on, berganti kapet.
I'm not blaming the father if you got a younger version of
your
someone
wife
that look like your wife.
Why not?
Oh man.
Tapi kau kena fikir, ini bukanlah adat, tapi this is how people were like.
That is during war lah, aku rasa.
Not just that. Okay, bila aku cakap berganti tika ni, aku masa in my younger days, I used to be part of editorial group for this blog on the Perak royalty. So basically kita orang tengok susu galur dah. And then biasalah dalam susu galur tengok lepas perempuan dia bini dia meninggal, dia kahwin adik dia pula.
Yes.
Bila kau baca description dari Museum Negara atau Arkib Negara, maka beliau berganti tikar. Ganti tikar. But people like my dad who's like 90 now, they've heard those terms normally. Ganti tikar. That's what they call it when you marry your dead wife's
keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family. Anyway,
tapi betul lah. Kalau nak tambah sikit, basically apa yang Nazir punya concern tu about the kenapa macam tak ada conclusion. Basically that is the conclusion lah. The conclusion of the story is that Mahito bila dia masuk dekat the other world, the ocean world tu, he embrace the acceptance and he embrace to move on. Means that the acceptance is from Natsuko daripada mak tiri dia. Dia finally dia accept mak tiri dia adalah mak dia. That's why sampai ujung-ujung dia kata she is my mom. Sampai ujung baru kata kan. And then lepas tu bila nak lepaskan Himi keluar daripada pintu yang sepatutnya macam Himi akan berhadapan dengan ajal dia, that is the final straw yang dah akan rasa macam okay, apa-apa pun aku memang kena move on. Aku dah boleh terima benda ni. So barulah dia boleh move on dengan hidup dia. And that's how you live.
Ada soalan ni. This is quite interesting as well. Which I think where is it? Which is by Bunny again, right? I don't think Himi wants the sucker to continue, but I think what she is she's basically there to facilitate whatever you wanted to do lah. So kalau anak dia nak buat whatever, tapi because the anak has come to the Mahito has come to the realization somewhat similar to the auntie that stop all this bullshit. So in a way he can get on with his life, accept Natsuko as his new mother, let her have the baby, and then they can be a family again and get on with life lah. And it's of no consequence to the grand uncle anyway because he's accepted, he's fit. Dia dah nak mati atau hilang, lenyap daripada dimensi itu within a day, and the parents mampu korang lah. And the parents, aku suka burung, tapi parents tu aku macam rasa gelak pun, dia benci pun dia. Pasal dia orang macam bodoh
the way he draw lah,
sebab gila. Okay, actually, okay, we'll kita go to the next segment, kind of like final segment lah. Kita 3-act-kan cerita yang tak ada 3-act ni. Okay, just a quick one, kita kalau cakap pasal anime, kita dah berborak pasal pelakon. Supaya siapa yang berminat dengan what you call it, Miyazaki punya films, dia tak traditionally ambil traditional SEIYUU. So macam dia takkan ambil Bakugo ke, dia takkan ambil pelakon yang jadi apa, whatever that you watch on TV lah. Dia akan ambil pelakon. They tend to take pelakon, and very famous pelakon, serious pelakon. And then pada anda yang suka Japanese cinema or even TV dramas, you probably will recognize a few of these faces. But person yang memegang watak Mahito ni actually is a noob. Santoki Soma, dia kalau tengok kat Wukiki pun, ini his first lead role. I think he's only 18 years old lah. Dia muda lah. Yang he's the top left kat atas. Yang kat tengah tu is Suda Masaki. Dia pernah pelakon untuk a few Kamen Rider stories. Dia juga penyanyi. So he is the Aosagi or the Grey Heron. And awet sebelah dia tu is Lady Himi sama, the fire sucker, Mahito's mother, everything. She's a singer called Amion. Korang tengok in Japanese ke korang tengok in English?
Japanese.
Aku interested nak tengok in English because very good actors. Robert Pattinson. So I'll be interested to watch it in English as well. Ko Shibasaki is the lady yang ni. Sorry, kau mana nampak pun arrow aku. Is the lady yang baju yang tengah mendagu tu. Dia pelakon filem dan drama juga. Dia first came to prominence. She was in Battle Royale. I've never watched Battle Royale, so I do not know which what that she's in. But she's been in a few ni. Yang tengah tu, paling tengah tu is the famous Takuya Kimura, lelaki, as people say, the prettiest man in Japan. Dah tua dah. Dia dulu satu penyanyi dalam grup nama SMAP, and he's acted in a lot of films, and because dia laku in that sense lah. Banyak iklan, banyak wayang yang power dipegang lah. And this is his second time in a Miyazaki film because dia dalam cerita ni dia jadi bapa kepada Mahito, Shoichi. Dia sebelum ni dia jadi Howl's Moving Castle.
Okay.
He was Howl. Yeah.
Then the actor English pun is the same guy. Christian Bale. Shit, man, good. So this girl aku tak kenal dia sangat. Tak kenal sangat, tak kenal langsung. Kimura Yoshino, who plays the Makiri Natsuko. In English punya version Gemma-chan jadi dia. Yang bawah-bawah ni yang pakai yang ada hoodie brown tua ni is the grand uncle. Aku tak kenal dia. Nama Hino Shohei, which is voiced by kalau English dia Mark Hamill. So that's the grand uncle. Tapi yang tengah bawah ni nama dia Kunimura Jun. Korang kalau siapa yang rajin tengok wayang atau TV Jepun akan kenal ya. Dia selalu jadi Yakuza, jadi macam bapa orang. Tapi kalau siapa yang tengok Naked Director, dia jadi
aku tahu.
Dia rival company kepada hero tu kan.
Yes, this guy.
Jun. Nama dia
familiar.
Kunimura Jun. And lastly, kalau korang ingat adegan ada pelikan yang idiot yang macam
Noble Pelican.
Ya. Apa nama pelikan?
Noble Pelican.
Noble Pelican tu. Dia kata siapa yang pernah tengok nama Tokyo Midnight Diner dekat Netflix. That's
my favorite show.
Kobayashi Kaoru. Aku tengok aku sometimes okay, ni boleh buat ni, try buat kat rumah. Kalau ada babi tu tukar jadi ayam ke apa kan. Dia macam dia kata I can make anything as long as we have the recipe. Aku macam, and then every episode dia best gila, macam dia slice of life sikit lah. Kedai dia buka midnight sampai pukul 7 pagi. in a part of Shinjuku, which is fictitious, of course. But yeah, so I mean, obviously there are a few more actresses yang voice the Mak Inang semua. Because aku tak ingat nama diorang kan. So but one of them aku kenal lah, pernah berlakon. Tapi as you can see, not diorang mungkin pernah voice in anime, but not because they are seiyus, but they are actors. So yeah, so and then Nazir punya favourite director of all time Ano Hideaki pun pernah jadi voice actor.
Bagi depresi kat aku orang tua tu.
Kalau siapa tengok The Wind Rises, the main character Ano Hideaki ni, dia director anime tau, Evangelion.
Ya.
Betul, Miyazaki kata, aku rasa yang best untuk suara ni Dia telefon kan, dia kata, biar betul aku cakap, aku tak pernah berlakon, aku nak kau berlakon. And one thing about, if you watch it, I'm sure there'll be some in YouTube. You watch behind the scenes untuk Spirited Away ke apa. Dia orang in Japan, unlike in America, where America they do like Pixar or anything lah, they'll do the voices first, and then they'll animate it after that, because the director will be sitting down with the sound engineer going, yeah, we know, because orang dah storyboard kan, orang dah storyboard the film. And they know what, but in Japan they usually cerita tu dah macam siap jugalah. And Miyazaki memang actively involved. He would be sitting in the auditorium actually giving the directions. Cakap macam ni. So masa tengok yang Wind Rises tu, Hideaki Anno kena tejek lah dengan Miyazaki. Ulang sekali lagi, tak best. Yang tu tak best. Tapi to see how revered Miyazaki is in the greater scheme of things, I mean, not about actors, about penyanyi. You'll find it in YouTube. The ending song tu, penyanyi tu nama Kenshi Yonezu. He's a friend of the Heron. Because they were in the same musical. He's a close friend.
Menyanyi untuk apa ni?
Yes, lagu Lemon, lagu MHA, lagu macam-macam. Lagu ni kickback untuk Chainsaw Man.
Betul.
I mean, so basically he literally said in the interview he almost rasa macam nak mati 2 kali. Satu, masa dapat invitation, kami nak kamu nyanyi. 2, masa dia bawa CD tu bagi Miyazaki dengar depan muka dia. Dia kata masa 2 kali dia memang dia nak mati kata. Betul tengok Miyazaki menangis. Dia macam because you have to bear in mind, as my people say, alah pakcik tua dia apa. Dia macam this is cinema, Martin Scorsese.
Aku setuju.
I mean, kita kutuk-kutuk Scorsese pun macam boomer apa. Dia ada pedigree lah. Sorry lah, korang yang kutuk-kutuk dah ada apa? Telur.
I mean, we can talk shit all we want, tapi
it's still Miyazaki.
And Miyazaki, they both produce a masterpiece actually. A very, very good masterpiece yang takkan ditelan zaman. Yang you can watch anytime that you want. And speaking of which, Kudo, aku punya dream nightmare aku. My dream nightmare, bila kita boleh tengok Miyazaki dengan Anno ni collaborate to direct or writing one masterpiece of movie.
Tak akan tak.
Sebab apa ni Anno, kita tahu dia famous dengan dia punya mind torture. And Miyazaki dengan dia punya view yang penuh dengan sedih. So you know, it's only time will tell lah. Okay, kalau nak add the spice, ajar Juji tu sekali. 3 orang ni.
Tapi benda-benda macam tu cakap wet, it's like a wet dream for people to talk je lah. Tapi I can't see anything like that genuinely happening in a sense. I think as a penutup for our discussion today, I mean, we've covered the plot line, we've covered the with regards to I just wanted to add lah the bit where when the grand uncle cakap dekat Mahito yang you know this stones have no malice, but and then he came to a realization, the fact that he hit himself with a stone kan, dia kata ini aku buat, ini bukan sebenarnya aku jatuh. At least he owned up to it, so he's man up, as they say. Number 2, it's not just a matter of him not wanting to go to school, not wanting to face the budak yang bully dia. The malice in there is the fact that satu, not just penipuan kepada ayah dia dan whatever family dia, tapi I bet you he knows his father can create havoc, you know, like get those. Tapi macam sekarang betul dia macam fikirlah, apa baik yang aku buat macam tu, yang kena pun budak-budak kampung yang ada jealous, budak-budak kampung je tu jealous, bukan salah pasal dia kampung, pasal dia tak ada. Biasalah kan bila kau don't have anything, tengok somebody macam kaya, aku kaya, you feel generally pissed off, rightly or wrongly. So in a way it's not their fault. So the fact that he's owning up to that and say, no, I'm not taking your sucker, whatever, sorry, you do what you want, and then the kepala burung tu, he's basically the fact that kepala burung tu dalam bodoh sombong dia demolish the structure tu. Basically Mahito and the mother tiri got what they wanted lah, which is the destruction of that particular universe that his great uncle built. And itulah, c'est la vie lah. Unless you got just one more thing. Tadi kan korang perasan tak dekat ni lane ni ada perkataan Facemi la divina potestate. Perasan tak?
Okay, the Latin.
Aku tadi I had to like literally pause because nobody's commented on it. I pause, I tulis, I hantar dekat Google. Siapa pernah dengar poem by by Dante, 14th century, Dante's Inferno?
Well, aku hanya tahu Divine Comedy sebab ada
Yes. So it's from Divine Comedy. So basically, it's part of the poem, which is they call dia cerita dia, basic story dia pasal perjalanan Mamat ni daripada kematian, neraka, purgatory is tempat antara neraka dan syurga. So dalam poem bahagian yang kata Prelude to Hell, act number 3, this is written on the gates of hell.
And what does it say?
No. It's a long 7 stanza punya ni lah. Basically, this is Facemi la divina potestate is rangkap nombor 5, which is basically my maker was divine authority. So because tempat tu was built by the grand uncle, kalau kau tengok pun dalam gambar masa dia buat flashback kan, he was a bit westernized dengan misai melentik dia. Kau kena bear in mind, permulaan abad ke-20 Jepun dan perakhiran abad ke-19 Jepun is what people call the Meiji Restoration, di mana Jepun nak sangat embrace everything western. They started wearing western clothes, start to get rid of old ways like samurai, as you can see from the film or Stories of Last Samurai dan sebagainya. And orang pergi ke Europe and enlighten themselves and all that. So mungkin whether or not when he created that monastery tu, bukan monastery, it's not saying that tower tu nak masuk neraka, tapi macam it may be that as well. But the fact that that word actually mean my maker was divine authority, so basically trying to show that he's datanglah tempat saya yang penuh dengan knowledge dan sebagainya. I'll just show this tab and this you can see. So that this is the poem lah. Yang huruf ni Facemi la divina potestate. So I find that quite macam seronok jugalah bila kau macam korek-korek. The reason aku macam perasan tadi, aku perasan masa tengok trailer before tengok wayang. Tapi it wasn't until last night masa aku prepare overlay tu, since aku boleh pause video aku semua tu, tulis je lah. Tapi whether or not apa relevance dia dengan Dante's Inferno, whether is, I think dia Miyazaki ambil because whether or not dia nak betul-betul make a reference to the Inferno or secara mendalam atau whether secara superficial, itu aku tak tahulah.
I don't think it's a coincidence. That's a possibility. Memang gunakan benda itu sebagai reference because the whole ocean world tu is the culmination of the world before life, the world after life, and the world during life.
And nampak tak dia macam kalau nak tengok in terms of cultural reference pun, dia cerita ni dia very devoid of any mythology pun tau. Dia macam kau nak kata benda ni Japanese pun bukan, nak kata benda ni Greek pun bukan. Any western Greek ke apa lagi Norse ke tak ada. This just very original. And even then kita tak tahu apa benda ni. Is it really cycle of life ke? Wara-wara ni life yang akan dilahirkan ke? And kenapa ada
Exactly. Aku ingat whether are they like souls of human beings, kan? Or kita pun tak tahu whether, walaupun dari segi rupa bentuk wara-wara ni, they are reminiscent of those little rock creatures that you see in Mononoke, for example. You see them as part of little shrines that you get tepi-tepi hutan. Kalau korang, kau pernah pergi Saga Arashiyama kan?
Saga Arashiyama.
Kau perasan nak sebelum nak masuk bambu tu, kalau kat neighborhood tu banyak juga dia orang simpan patung-patung kecil tu.
So nature spirits.
So it's things like that lah. So it's kind of like ni lah tu lah.
Masa yang lepas aku tengok wara-wara ni dia adalah soul yang akan jadi human.
Manusia kan.
Basically kalau tengok orang naik ke atas tu semua ramai macam sperm sebenarnya.
Masih viral lah.
Lepas tu the pelicans akan makan kan. That's basically macam, so the whole world, the ocean world is actually basically maybe is like a womb also, So untuk the wara-wara tu hanya satu je sebenarnya yang boleh jadi.
Itu yang jadi yang sangat fascinating untuk aku lah. Macam aku cakap tadi lah, kalau cerita Spirited Away, the world tu walaupun it's still abstract, it's a yokai spirit world, tapi dia ada rules tau. Dia macam law tu macam you boleh lah, okay dia jadi ni sebab dia macam ni, dia pandai buat magic ni sebab dia adalah dragon. But cerita yang ni, it is so abstract, anything could happen. Tiba-tiba this yang makcik yang pakai baju kuning tu, tiba-tiba dia boleh buat api. Datang mana api ni kita tak tahu. Lepas tu Himiko mak dia Himi fire, boleh buat fire. Daripada mana cerita ni? So kita macam, for me, aku macam adakah aku nak tanya kenapa macam ni, ataupun aku just macam appreciate
just let it go.
Just let it go. Macam, you know what? This is just fine.
Exactly. That's why I was saying, I mean macam depends on what sort of person you are. The person that ever so inquisitive may not be satisfied depending on how you are. I mean, we can be inquisitive, like we can look at Google and we can find, that explains it, why the bloody parrots are a nuisance, because there's something factual behind it. But that's how it is, I guess. I think kita pergi ke rating lah sekarang. So let's go to the rating. Kita punya rating. Tadi lupa nak tulis reaksi satu ayat, tapi tak apalah. Rating saya, mula-mula I was like, before aku nak tengok, aku cakap kat Arif, aku rasa aku nangis kot kita ni. 10 out of 10. Because dah lama tak tengok ke apa. Tapi aku macam, I ended up, as much as I tell people to just go for the ride, you still surreptitiously want to compare with something else. And then you feel like, it will dishonor the other things that I like from Miyazaki if I had say given this a particular score. Aku nak bagi 7 terlalu average. So 8.59 to kind of like because technically this is a fantastic film. He actually, I think this is also a film that he stole his stuff. No CGI please. Bukan dia tak pernah buat CGI, tapi because that's how it is. And look at 7 years, man. 7 years of blood, sweat and tears. And it is autobiographical to an extent. The father being in the military industrialist, the mother being a strong, frugal woman, as I mentioned dalam video pendek 4 minit tadi tu kan. It's not a coincidence. I mean, he's always had a fascination with airplanes because his father used to build parts for Mitsubishi Zero, kapal terbang yang paling laju yang belasah American kat Pacific War. Pacific punya, what do you call it? What's the word? What do you call? Oh God, if you play video game, you know lah. Shit. Anyway, so and then mak dia macam not just this film, mak dia punya perwatakan pernah dihidupkan dalam berbagai filem seperti Nausicaa, seperti just now that pirate woman in Laputa. And in this film apparently the mother is of course the mother who died lah, because mak dia ada spinal tuberculosis, TB yang jangkit dekat tulang belakang. So mak dia by the time masa tu lepas perang, Miyazaki kecil lagi, dia nak minta mak dia dukung, mak dia kata tak boleh nak, aku tak I got a very bad back. And she died at the age of 83. So how long the mother had suffered, and how long the mother yet at the same time being a bloody good role model for him and inspired him to create. For him, his father was never there. Which probably again you could see the similarities where Mahito macam tengok ayah dia macam whatever that. Tapi in a respectful early 20th century Japanese boy would. Bapak dia macam tak ada. Actually nak kata tu kat ayah dia pun is not fair. Because he is the same towards his son, Goro Miyazaki, who directed a few of the films in the Ghibli stable. When Goro did his first film called The Tales of Earthsea, Hayao was against it totally. In fact ada Nazir, tadi kau dah tengok the documentary kan yang NHK tu, dia ada berapa part tu.
Ada sebit lah.
Because there was one bit where he went to the dia pergi juga tak adalah, tapi dalam tu dia duduk merampun dalam taksi, dia kata no, it shouldn't be the right thing. It's not grown up yet. Tapi dia tak pernah ada depan jaga anak dia. In fact, rasa sedih tau. Anak dia dengan all the big suits from all the Sin Studios, from the makers of anime in the cinema. Yet the father was like, tengah-tengah panggung dia berdiri, dia belah. Dia ukur je.
Yes.
Lepas tu dia kata, okay lah, aku masuk balik. Macam sial.
Tak, dia yang aku ingat lagi sebab anak dia pujuk dia tau. Dia kata, "Bapa, kau tengok filem aku." Dia tanya, "Kenapa kau buat filem ni?" Saya aku itu macam like a short movie, bukannya full length movie.
No, it's a full length. It's a full length. But unfortunately, aku bukan nak sokong Hayao Miyazaki. Not very good. But it was his first film. But ayah dia, at the end of the day, he was fair. He wrote a letter or something, kata, yeah, you did a film. Yeah, you did good. Well, that's it.
Dia tak, yang best dia masuk, tengok dia keluar, dia isap rokok lagi. Bila anak dia ke one of the sang producernya, so how was it?
Yang pakai, yang dia turun tangga kan? Okay lah, betul. Sial.
Dia cakap, tak, yang Meli kata, movie kau ni kosong, tak ada makna apa-apa. Kau pergi belajar lagi, cari mana kehidupan. Tak silap aku, macam masa tu cameraman tu sempat masuk kejap dekat dalam cinema tu, dalam hall tu, tunjuk scene aku macam, bapak macam boleh tahan apa lawa juga dia punya visual tu, macam aku nak juga tengok anak dia movie. Dia keluar, movie kau kosong, tak ada makna apa-apa. Macam, dude, this your son, kau at least be gentle lah.
But I voice it's not very good. But anyway, since you're on the screen now, what's your rating for the film?
Okay, it's an unfair rating, tapi aku bagi 5 over 10. 5 over 10 aku bagi. Okay, I know people will say
Go back and watch SpongeBob.
5 over 10. Aku bagi 5 over 10.
You
maybe okay lah.
uncultured.
Sama kudo.
Kudo, this is my
Tak. Kepada peminat penonton, ni main-main this is banter. I'm not like
Okay, kudo.
Aku tak keluar aku punya lagi.
This is
Now,
my life promise to you. Within this 6 months, bila movie ni dah keluar Blu-ray, dah keluar dekat Crunchyroll ke apa, aku akan second watch again. Maybe my perspective change, but after this, aku akan take my time to watch as many Ghibli movie as possible. As many as possible Yang mana yang
kalau masa bedah One Piece, masa bedah One Piece live action dulu, dia pergi fuck you kan Duan kan. Jadi kita pula fuck you dah.
Dude, okay, like I say, I'm a
Okay.
I mean, the movie.
lah. You have to
Tak. Y'all are making Nazi bernazar tau tak?
This is my life promise. 6 months.
Tapi orang kena faham konteks. Orang kena faham konteks di sebalik 5/10 tu. So the context, aku sebenarnya mula memang marah lah, tapi bukan marah lah, aku just macam gitu je lah. Tapi lepas tu bila aku tahu konteks, this is a second film MIYAZAKI, kau tengok lepas Grave of the Fireflies pula tu. Okay, understandable lah, ada konteks. It's like macam dua-dua filem yang memang agak hard to solo juga kot sebenarnya kan. And bila Nazir kata Grave of the Fireflies tu, ramai orang kata sedih tu semua. That one aku agree dengan Nazir. Bila orang kata sedih, bagi aku yes, memang sedih. But bukan sedih yang sampai tahap kau bowling kau punya eyes ke apa benda. But it's not mean that
dia bukan sedih macam dia sedih sini macam
dalam.
Macam aku macam nauzubillah, tak nak compare, macam I don't want to face the loss of my mother again in real life. You know, like aku bukan nak meremehkan, macam aku arwah mak aku dah tak ada lah, dah berapa tahun dah, tapi you know, things that hurt so much, you don't want to see that again. You as an adult, you watch Grave of the Fireflies, you can
I don't want to be traumatized.
You exactly. You've seen the pain of war, because at the end of the day, bukan dua adik-beradik tu aja macam tu, tapi biasalah kan, because dia cara dia cerita, buat kata, in Malay, menyayat hati. Sayat tu potong, makan katak, makan batu, makan lumpur. Kau tak rasa, kalau kau tak nangis, kau bukan manusia lah. I mean, but then, you appreciate how good it was. I'm not watching it again. Aku ada DVD. Aku tak beli Blu-ray pun. Aku simpan je DVD tu. Tapi aku tak jual lah. I'm not watching it. I don't care.
That's the different kind of set yang kita rasa lah. Bukan je macam kita tak menangis, maksudnya cerita tu sedih dia tak bagus. Tak. Because every people different take untuk filem tu kan. Sama juga macam Girl in the Cell Number 7. Ramai kata sedih. Aku tengok macam, okay, aku tahu kenapa cerita ni sedih, kenapa orang rasa sedih. Tapi bagi aku cerita ni macam mengumpan orang saja untuk berasa sedih. Tapi macam Grave of the Fireflies, dia tak umpan orang untuk rasa sedih. Dia just umpan orang untuk rasa empathy towards the character tu je. Macam, gila kau adik dia cerita dia. Okay, I'm not gonna watch this again. It's not good for my mental health. Aku tak kena jadi ni. So, means that is sad lah. Memang cerita dia sedih lah, menyedihkan lah. So untuk Nazhir, kau memang, the first thing yang memang kau kena buat is watch Spirited Away, because Spirited Away is miles different than Boy and the Heron dengan Grave of the Fireflies.
Similarity yes, tapi lain.
Yes, lain. Dan kau akan enjoy, kau akan rasa fun. Aku tak tahu lah, ni bagi aku lah, aku rasa lah, aku assume kau akan rasa fun. At the starting, at the story pun kau dah boleh memang terus invest dengan story dia. And after tonton, for sure memang kau akan revisit balik cerita tu, not to watch what you miss, but to watch apa sebenarnya the significant from the start until the ending. Keberapa. Oh, rupanya dia ni Cini. Oh, rupanya dia ni dekat awal dah tunjuk. So yeah, it is something yang macam
kau pernah tunjuk kat anak kau cerita tu? Spirited
Away aku pernah tengok kat TV, lepas tu banyak kali je lah, kadang anak aku just join tengok sekali je lah. But tapi dia punya feeling similarity is that dia kau bila kau tengok banyak-banyak filem Miyazaki, kau akan rasa macam, oh, that's why The Boy and the Heron is like that. Kenapa cerita ni macam tak ada permulaan plot, tak ada conclusion, semuanya persoalan kau kata macam kenapa dia punya cerita ni dia tak ada berdialog sangat, dia cuma nak tunjuk saja dia punya animation dia, because memang that's how he do dalam filem-filem dia. Spirited Away pun sama. Kau tahu-tahu tiba-tiba kau dah dekat second act, tiba-tiba kau dah dekat third act, tiba-tiba dah habis. Aku tak sempat nak keluar daripada filem.
And also if I want to be more, if I want to add on, technically ini movie pertama aku yang tengok by Hayao Miyazaki, sebab Gravity Firefly bukan Miyazaki yang buat.
Tak
tahu. It's director. So technically this is my fresh
lah.
The first movie yang aku tengok dekat Power Gum, aku tengok ada Ghibli, ada Miyazaki punya hasil tangan, The Boy and the Heron. So you know, without any proper like experience of his art, so bila aku first impression jadi macam ni, actually aku just harap my impression can be amended by watching Spirited Away, Totoro, any kind of movie by Miyazaki exclusively.
Which is fair untuk Nazir juga, sebab I feel like ni macam nak kata kat budak our generation Nazir, macam akan high chance more of Nazir punya type akan terjadi, sebab benda ni after 10 years Miyazaki tak keluarkan film, selalu keluar. And then akan ada orang macam, oh ni cerita Miyazaki, jom kita tengok. Tak pernah tengok all the other Ghibli, sebab yelah, it's not like a MCU yang benda tu connected kan. Sebab kita, so aku rasa if anything we will get more of a Nazir kind of situation other than people yang minat Miyazaki. So it's a fair assumption lah.
Actually dah Hadi tak bagi kau punya rating.
Oh, rating?
Ya. Rating kau tadi kau tak bagi kan?
Nanti Hadi.
Belum. So tadi aku suggest dia dulu pasal filem dekat Nazir. Go watch Spirited Away, tapi untuk aku personally, because I'm a bit biased lah. I'm a bit biased dengan Miyazaki punya cerita. Kalau masa lepas tonton wayang tu, I get the feeling that macam rating tak boleh nak tinggi sangat. Aku bagi just macam 9/10 punya waktu tu, which is dah tinggi kat sebenarnya kan. Tapi after that aku try macam indulge myself lagi untuk understand the film, dan lepas tu biasalah kita buat research sikit apa semua kan, and then see how actually the movie is more than what they show us. So aku bagi rating overall untuk filem ni 9.5 per 10 bintang, and this is the number 4 untuk top 10 2023.
Oh, aku saja tak tengok video TikTok kau lagi, because aku dah tengok this.
Kita belum buat lagi.
Bukan kau buat kat something ke? Kau buat kat
IG dengan FB.
Ya, jangan lupa guys, ikut.
Ya, follow me on TikTok. Nanti maybe tonight aku akan keluarkan top 10 movie 2023 and top 10 series.
In fact Hadis socials is also in the description below.
Yeah.
And you guys kalau korang ada social kena publicize, let me know, then I'll just put it on the description.
Basically you guys just Google @HDABBHMD, Google je terus keluar dah. IG lah, Facebook lah, TikTok lah, apa semua.
OnlyFans dan
OnlyFans kita guna lain. HX baby.
Arif. OnlyFans kau apa Arif?
That's one is honest review. Orang kata the naked truth punya review. Without any prejudice.
Rating
I still remember 2022 Adi.
Oh shit, janganlah.
I don't want to know what happened.
RM50 bye.
Oh, yang tu. Oh shit. Ya. Apa?
Throwback.
Super chat RM50. Siapa Hanat tu? Kawan kau?
Kawan aku punya. Setan betul.
Sial. Pernah buka baju. Oh shit. I remember that one. Sorry, yes.
Oh,
Rating.
my turn. Okay. Aku punya rating lepas dah buat discussion, lepas dah mendalami, it doesn't change lah. Mendalami gitu. It was between 7.5 and 8. Dia macam I liked it, tapi I can see where the thing will lose dia punya appeal lah, especially in terms of the randomness tu, because I like random and I like deliberate random. Dia macam I like the I don't give a fuck and also the fuck you attitude from Miyazaki lah. Macam okay,
yes,
I'm not gonna explain everything to you.
He does do that, yeah. Fuck you attitude.
Macam fuck you. So macam for me it's gonna be like an 8 lah, 8 out of 10, because I appreciate dia punya similarity dengan apa yang aku dah pernah tengok, but at the same time the heaviness of the actual topic lah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just one last thing lah. I guess we're going to end up wrap this up lah. Obviously with this fantastic discussion, 2 jam 11 minit juga kita. Aku lupa tadi I was supposed to add to one thing. There was a question on the relevance of the white heron in the Japanese mythology and folklore related to obviously dunia yang lain lah. Herons often appear around death. The birds in that birds in general, tak kisah heron ke, parrot ke, ayam ke, associated with death and funerals, even joining processions or taking on other funeral rites. That's daripada National Geographic. So itu bukan jawapan Palatau. Tapi just I guess as part of and parcel of the whole thing where people say, oh ni kali keempat lah aku nak cakap aku nak retire, aku tak retire pun. Tapi yelah, as I said before, he's 82 now. Wayang ni pun dah 7 tahun ambil masa untuk dia buat. Walaupun dia dah plan for the next film ke next project apa tu, kita pun tak tahulah apa. Kita macam buat kata orang, kita doa-doakanlah kesihatan kalau kita nak tengok anything more from him. And then there's a lot of things as well, things about how Studio Ghibli is going to be like in the future, because he is 82. Isao Takahata pun dah meninggal. He died a couple of years ago. Toshio Suzuki yang Mamat pakai spek tu, dia asal dia editor manga. Dia yang mula-mula approach Miyazaki, kata, kau punya komik Nausicaa ni gempak lah, aku rasa boleh buat wayang. So I think that's why at the other day dia and also another person nama Tokuma, which I didn't have a picture of, who owns a publishing thing. So the 4 of them created Ghibli. Tokuma pun dah meninggal, so tinggal dia dengan Toshio je. Kalau tinggal Toshio je, Toshio dia tak boleh, dia tak menulis. Dia tak direct. So
bagi aku sebenarnya kalau even though maybe it's a sad truth that maybe we will not get any Miyazaki works in the future,
it's a possibility lah.
Kita kena prepare benda tu. But the best thing is that semua hasil kerja dia adalah evergreen. You can revisit, kau boleh revisit anytime and kau akan rasa macam very refresh setiap kali kau tengok balik all filem-filem dia. And dia punya works pun boleh dikata macam kalau lah tak ada kan in the future kan, if this is really the final works dia lah kan, it's only completed lah benda tu, semua yang dia buat tu. So kau just macam aku pun kata even not really just Miyazaki lah, macam Studio Ghibli lah, banyak je lagi yang lain-lain yang aku tak tengok lagi kan. So we can just tonton tapi kita tak tengok lagi. Dan macam contohnya the film macam Spirited Away, House Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke adalah jenis filem-filem yang okay, aku dah tak ada benda nak buat rumah, aku nak lepak, nak makan. Tengok pergi makan. That is that kind of film. It's that kind of film.
I mean, I guess it nicely what you're saying is I kind of nicely segs into No Scoop punya ni. Hopefully film ni masuk OTT sebab screening film ni tak banyak. Yeah, which is as I described just now. Because licensor untuk wayang-wayang Ghibli is what you call it, G-Kids, but then again sejak daripada Spirited Away, and they work forwards and backwards when Disney bought the rights. That's why macam kalau kau tengok Totoro, asal dia punya English dub hampas. Tapi later on, because they work backwards as well as going forwards, then you start having big names. Memang big names.
Itu apa yang Disney buat jugalah sebenarnya after Spirited Away dan menang Oscar tu semua kan. Then bukanlah barulah Disney realize, tapi barulah diorang realize that Western and other countries selain daripada Japan tak ada peluang untuk nak menonton filem-filem daripada Studio Ghibli daripada sebelum Spirited Away. That's why dia ambil balik filem macam Only Yesterday lah, filem Whisper Heart lah, apa semua tu dia ambil balik, re-release balik dekat US, semuanya dub balik, gunakan pelakon-pelakon yang ternama. And the fact that it's not just bukan pelakon ternama je tau, dia gunakan pelakon ternama tu, tapi bila diorang buat voice diorang tu it's not really significant dengan diorang punya real voice. Dia guna tu sampai tu. Macam contohnya dalam Ariety kan, Ariety is the mom, I think. The mom ke apa yang bawa watak, the mom is Amy Poehler, the comedian, tapi dia tak buat komedi dalam tu. Dia bawa is very like macam Studio Ghibli style punya voice acting tau.
That's the point. That's the point. Like Howl doesn't sound like flipping Batman, you know.
Macam Kesabi kita tak ada nak elak lah. Okay, Kesabi I think memang macam okay, that is an opportunity bila dia bawa watak Howl.
Kau kata Ariety watak dia siapa baca? Siapa dia punya?
I remember, is it Ariety or what? Amy Poehler lah I think. I'm not sure.
Amy Poehler. Dia jadi watak nama Homely.
Mak dia kan, nanti dia berlakon jadi mak.
Tapi nakanya apparently the year before for Ariety dia ada different range range.
Dia ada dua kan, UK dengan US.
UK dengan US. So instead of Amy Poehler, it was Olivia Colman. Jadi
correct.
So Ariety
dia sangkut tu buat dua accent lagi tau. So
Ariety,
yes, this is aku faham sometimes in anime punya world there's a person yang ada dub and sub section. Tapi untuk Studio Ghibli punya, you have to enjoy both. Sebab both
that's right,
are really good. Dia tak, kalau aku nak tengok lagi Boy and the Heron ni, aku nak tengok yang in English dub punya. I want to listen on Robert Pattinson jadi Grey Heron weh. Aku kalau kau tengok balik dalam trailer,
kau tengok balik trailer suara dia bloody hell.
William Dafoe should be Grey Heron, but instead Robert Pattinson.
Dia jadi Robert Pelican. Because Mamat yang masa aku tengok interview Yukenshi Yonezu tu kan, yang masa dia kata I almost died twice tu dia tanya balik dekat Suda Masaki, dia kata kau pula masa dapat offer tu so aku buat suara dia betul Salin yang tu okay, so dia buat lah, dia senang je instruction dia, tapi tak seteruk macam penyanyi tu. Yelah dia dah kena macam okay, aku dah main gitar, okay lah lagu ni, betul dia punya kawan yang arrange the music, okay kita ubah sikit-sikit, so dia make the CD yang dia bawa dekat Miyazaki tu. Just one more thing, we're talking about the future of Ghibli. So one of the other things was hari tu, let me just quickly check as well, that the rights to distributing Ghibli stuff in Japan was taken by Tokyo TV, if I'm not mistaken. So there is a continuity lah. Sorry, not Tokyo TV, Nippon TV. So NTV dia punya simbol. So that was in September. Nippon TV Holdings will acquire a chunk of Studio Ghibli from organizational and so that in the future projects. Tapi itulah bagaimana kualiti dia, whether or not you know. I think biasalah once the creator is not there. I mean, bukan nak cakap benda tak elok, tapi bukan benda tak elok, benda tak elok, tapi macam, benda macam ni, apa nak buat? Like Lucasfilm jual dia, you know what happened. So, an interesting point is, have you guys, you know of a director called Mamoru Hosoda?
Macam pernah dengar.
Mamoru Hosoda is
the Dragon Prince something ada kat Netflix tak aku.
Mamoru Hosoda is one of those seangkatan dengan the likes of Makoto Shinkai. So he did Bell, which was one of his latest project. Bell. He did Bell. Wolf Children, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Mirai, The Boy and the Beast. He was actually the original director for Howl's Moving Castle, and was said by members of Ghibli that he could have brought Ghibli forward in the time when, bila masa, but unfortunately, rasa macam politik Malaysia lah pula. I think there was other creative differences that led him to leave the project, and Miyazaki took over, and that's it lah. So, tapi Mamoru Hosoda, dia ada dia punya line dia sendiri, doing all this stuff that I mentioned just now. Macam Makoto Shinkai pula, dia ada line dia sendiri, because I cannot imagine Makoto Shinkai katalah, bro, kau terror, buatlah. But what? It means Ghibli will look like Makoto Shinkai film. So it doesn't work in my opinion. So personally untuk aku, kita enjoy lah Ghibli ni sementara apa yang ada pun. Guys, anything else to add about harapan pasal Ghibli in the future? Anybody else?
Just doa apa ni, doa
umur panjang.
Kenang aku dalam doamu.
Kita ada harapan
umur panjang lah. To create mana tahu apa one more magnum opus ke, siapa tahu.
Mama ni kok no joke sel ni.
Sebab aku dengar some of the rumors yang besar kemungkinan dia Miyazaki nak sambung for the apa yang bangga yang kau tunjuk itu apa
Nashika.
There is a rumors yang dia nak sambung for the part 2. But don't know lah, maybe yes, maybe no. Sebab this one also take 7 years to develop. Aku ada tengok some of the TikTok punya orang cakap reaction or post atau some kind of news. Diorang cakap Miyazaki bersedih 2 tahun masa baca the source material untuk The Boy and the Heron, barulah dia production apa semua. So don't know true or not. Even one of the interview pun even the producer Toshio pun cakap, aku dah tak boleh halau orang tua ni lagi, dia punya idea penuh dengan movie. So basically his engine is already burnt up, so dia nak pull out everything that he can. And sekarang pun this is like one of the best movie in the world in the animation right now. So I mean, probably
what do you guys think of the, is it a publicity stunt or something that they actually release the film without any fanfare? Tak ada announcement, tak ada apa. Korang rasa
kata fanfare, memang trailer apa semua pun dia tak ada keluar kan. There's no promo at all. Memang no promo.
Tapi tak buat. Is it because they are being confident? I'm sure there's an interview somewhere, but I wasn't aware of it lah.
I think this is macam social experiment kind of thing lah daripada Miyazaki juga sebenarnya. Macam because kita tahu macam bukan kita tahu lah, tapi macam maybe that's how he is. Dia macam buat filem, sedangkan dia buat filem pun without macam further explanation, macam lantak keluar lah kau nak faham apa ke tak ke apa kan. So bila keluar filem ni dia semacam aku keluar je lah filem ni, tak payahlah promo ke apa ke, kalau ada orang nak tengok, orang akan tengok. But unfortunately bila dah bagi dekat distributor, of course distributor lah yang akan buat sendiri kan, all the trailers, release kat global apa semua ni. But personally bagi aku pun dia pun tak complain lebih. Maksudnya dia tak complain pasal sama ada filem ni akan box office ke tak ke apa ke, dia tak pilih. Dia nak just cerita ni, dia nak cerita ni dia dah buat. Yang lain-lain tu lantak korang lah, kau nak buat apa. So rasa is a good social experiment lah.
Actually, Aku sementara kau cakap tu, aku saja klik benda ni and then I found it. Actually, I saw this already. Ghibli producer explains unusual promotion for mystery Miyazaki film. I mean, I think in the subtitles that we can see that when we were children in our younger days, we enjoyed the anticipation before we saw a new film. So betul lah macam kau cakap, an experiment. And then they were saying
ni macam dia take a jab to western Hollywood film lah, macam Marvel, DC kan. Every week akan ada clip 1, clip 2, clip 3 nak promote kau-kau kan.
Lalas dah tengok the whole movie.
And then dia kata we would see the poster and 1 or 2 lines of the description and fill in the blanks with our imagination. And then
dia bagi poster pun, the poster heron tu pun kita macam poster ni poster apa?
Macam tu je. Poster yang TGV bagi kat Malaysia tu lagi cantik. So and then dia kata but Miyazaki was actually worried about whether we could do that with this film, but he came around to the idea in the end. People nowadays already know the plot before they watch a movie, so dia so there you go lah. So I guess that's why lah. And as I said, they made opening weekend dia berapa billion yen, but in USD terms it's 13 million biasalah. Tapi kalau siapa yang nak compare, tapi cerita Endgame, janganlah cakap ini Jepun bai.
Tapi kau nampak tak? Kau nampak tak in our panelists now how the social experiment to works differently with each person. Macam mana it work for me, it work for Arif, it work for Kudo and Nazri. Macam kita tak tengok apa promotion ke apa ke, kita just tengok a few trailers everything. Macam bagi aku tertarik sebab aku memang dah fan Miyazaki. But then on the Nazri perspective yang tak pernah tengok Miyazaki punya cerita, suddenly macam tengok cerita ni terus macam susah nak ni lah terima apa semua kan. So it's interesting because that is the experiment. Experiment.
Yelah, biasalah. Nobody can like everything. You know, nobody can like everything. Macam masa aku budak-budak dulu kan, as a kid, as a teenage, as a sekolah rendah, minat Indiana Jones, minat Star Wars. Betul, untuk aku bila kat sekolah, Star Wars is the best film in the world. Betul, tengok Academy Award tahun 1981, best film, Terms of Endearment. Cerita apa ni?
What the hell?
Cerita apa yang boleh menang ni? Ada Jack Nicholson dengan tu, I mean, but obviously as an adult, I've not even watched that film, but you know, you as a kid, you go like, apa ni? Asal Star Wars menang best special effects. Is that it?
But yes, sebenarnya memang bagus kalau kau tengok filem juga kau tahu apa-apa berkenaan filem tu. Tapi as a parents, kalau macam korang nak tengok dekat streaming service ke apa benda ke, only one thing that you should have known is the rating saja. Tu je. Kau buka Netflix, kau nampak dia keluar language ke, substance ke, nudity ke, ada kau dah tahulah apa benda. Aku sekarang sebab Netflix sekarang memang filem kau kan tengok macam nampak biasa-biasa, suddenly tiba-tiba dia nak keluar, dia keluar je macam tu. Aku macam
you talking about Solvent ke?
Something like that lah. Dia ada certain lah juga. Macam
because interesting kau sebut tu. Masa sebelum start BBFC, dia bagi dia punya huruf nombor 12A, maknanya bawah 12 boleh pergi tengok, tapi ada adult. Tapi dia explain mengapa dia bagi 12A. Dia tu satu lagi benda yang mencemaskan dan evidence of self-harm. Aku cakap, self-harm? Yang ketuk batu kat kepala tu. You know, like, it's like that. Kita macam, okay, wow, okay, that's why they give this rating. You know, it's a bit too dark lah, I guess, for little kid to go like, why? Kadang-kadang dia orang pula being impressionable, dia orang buat kat rumah. Dengan lesung lah. Anyway, anybody else has any final words before we wrap this up tonight?
Dan I mean it is suave, so macam
anyway, alright guys, thanks a lot for spending your New Year's Day. Esok kerja, aku pun esok kerja.
Happy New Year guys.
Ya, sambil New Year berkurang. So kita tiba di penghujung sesi bedah kita untuk The Boy and the Heron. Dan diharapkan penonton di rumah terhibur dengan ulasan kami malam ni. Untuk sesi yang akan datang, hopefully we are going to talk about the latter half of the season 2 Spy Family, minggu hadapan hari Ahad 7 hari bulan Januari 24 di waktu yang sama 9 malam bersama Andri dan Syaz. So pada anda yang baru datang baru ke sesi kami, jangan lupa untuk melanggan, berkongsi dan tanya butang like untuk laman-laman YouTube kami di STOMACHOFCHAOS, Hadi Abdul Hamid dan BUZZPOPTV and any of our socials listed down in the description below, supaya anda tak ketinggalan untuk sesi kami yang akan datang atau any other content that we make. Dan jika anda ingin menonton sesi-sesi yang sebelum ni yang related to anime, kat STOMACHOFCHAOS I basically do short videos based on longer conversations in little snippet lah, tapi untuk tontonan and just untuk menambahkan aku punya video. Okay. Aku Hai Zulfadli. Bila nak bedah Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 untuk maklumat, sanggup tengok sampai episod 5 aja. Actually kan, aku hari tu buat announcement. Yes. But I have to say I did it somewhat reluctantly because I was watching it pakai masuk terus je. Because I stopped at episode 14 in season 1 and then I went straight in Shibuya Arc because of certain elements that was happening at that time, and then I got tapi at the same time banyak benda aku kena cover, and then the only person yang interested was Jamal, and I think Arif, you watched Jujutsu Kaisen religiously. So I was thinking making both of you the panelists, but then I was thinking aku rasa aku tersilap buat janji. So ni macam lagu Ella lah, janji manismu. So kemungkinan lah tak cover kot, because banyak sial. In fact kau pun cakap kau baca tengok sampai episod 5 je kan. So now you know what the feeling is. I'm not closing the idea, but hopefully lah later on. Tapi it might be too much after the fact kalau nak do it later, because season 2 core 2 dah habis kan. We are waiting for next season, which is the Culling Arc. I actually can read the manga, but then again itu pun aku macam drop the actual buying, but I know I can buy it later on. Want to read too much manga, too little time. But so finally itulah jawapan kami. Kami mungkin sentuhlah sikit apa yang kami dah tengok next week. Andri kata dia nak tengok, tapi dia kata macam lihat nak tengok. So I think it depends lah on what cita rasa masing-masing. I'm not saying that it's a bad anime, it's just that probably timing aku tak betul kot. And then aku suka tengok rubbish like 100 girlfriends that really love me. Benda-benda bodoh macam tu aku suka tengok pasal tak pakai otak. So anyway, terima kasih kepada sudi bersama kami, kepada rakan panelis hari ini, Otsukare sama deshita, kepada Arif, Adi and Nazir guys. Thanks very much.
Right.
So dan saya Kudo Maritu Ijoris Mata today. So hopefully kita berjumpa lagi di waktu akan datang. Matane.
Arigato, thanks.